Welcome to Seguin, the defending 5A D1 state champion Smithson Valley Rangers continue district play against the Matador squad looking for its first district victory since a September 19th win against Victoria East. Since then, Bernie Champion has beaten Seguin, so has Piper, and tonight have their hands full with Smithson Valley. We welcome you to the Ranger Network alongside Brian Hill. And Brian, figures to be a lot of fun tonight, especially considering the quarterback that the Matadors feature.
Yeah, they're a high-scoring offense, like to spread the ball around. Four-year starter at quarterback, coach's son, Corey Daly, big old tall kid, 6'7". He's been the starter for 4 years, and they like to throw it around. They score a lot of points. Their lowest point total on the year is 34 points. See if the Rangers can hold less than that tonight.
Trent Amaya kicks us off, and we are underway, as Trent usually does, to the back of the end zone. And the Matadors will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Brian, you mentioned a high-scoring affair. Fun fact, both these teams have scored 241 points exactly, both of them, so far in 2025.
Yeah, and two totally different styles of getting there, obviously. You know, Seguin, they like to spread it around. Again, 4-year starter at quarterback, can see the defense really well, like to throw it, where Smithson Valley is more of run-oriented than play-action pass, rely on the defense. So it's going to kind of be a battle of opposite mindsets here tonight, and we'll see if the Ranger defense can hold up against a high-powered offense.
Brian mentioned Corey Daly, committed verbally to the University of Pittsburgh. We'll go through all the schools, including local programs, that have offered him before he verbally committed. Keeps on first down, though he's known for his arm. That is not unusual. Corey, not afraid to take off with it on the ground. That now is 75th rush of the year, 365 yards coming in. Every time he carries it, 5 yards per pop.
Yeah, most of it's like that. Empty it out. No running back in the backfield. Spread the defense out. Have a light box and run it. So a good pickup on first down by Seguin.
5 to be exact. So 2nd and 5 at the 30. 4 wide, 2 to each side for Daly. Hands. Moreno's first give, and up the gut for a first down. Ian Moreno, their featured back, 602 all-purpose yards to start the night, 470 of them on the ground. He has scored 4 touchdowns.
And I think that's key. We talked a lot about Seguin's passing offense, but if they can run the ball and commit some numbers into the box to stop that run, that's just going to open up the passing game. And so 2 rushes to start the game in a first down, so boding well for the Seguin offense.
Same formation at the 37. Daly's first pass bobbled, incomplete. Philip Smith there in the vicinity.
A good pursuit by the Ranger defense. Threw a little hitch out there. Ball was just a hair out in front, so he wasn't able to catch it clean. I think if he does catch it clean, he might have a seam and pick up a couple yards, but bobbled it and then took a big shot there. He's still down. Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him, and he's okay.
Keeping my eye on Abron Acuna, the intended receiver. He wears number 2. 3 catches coming into tonight, 24 yards, a touchdown, though he's only played 3 games. The Matadors kind of having to shuffle in some receivers here because of injuries, and so several guys who'll get some minutes for them tonight have not played a whole lot during the season. For example, with Tyler Trevino listed as a starter, he's played 4 of their 5 games. D'Angelo Aguilar, who gets plenty of action, has only played 2 games for him. So shuffling in and out. 5 wide, empty backfield for Daly on 2nd and 10. Trips to our side. Looking left. Let's go that way. Another incompletion. Fantastic play there, Brian, by that Smithson Valley secondary.
Yeah, you could tell pre-snap, Daly wanted to come down here to the 3 wide receiver side. Smithson Valley rolled into kind of a cloud coverage. Smith came out here and actually bracketed, so he looked to the other side, had a little stop route in front of McGee and a good ball, but a good closing speed by McGee, kind of right on his back as he tried to catch it. Ball goes through his hands, and so 3rd and long, 3rd and 10. We'll see if the Ranger defense can hold up on the first 3rd down of the game. Corey
Daly, 1,869 yards coming in, completes his passes at a 64% clip, thrown 17 touchdowns. On 3rd and 10, the screen, Courtney Hornsby in coverage, incomplete, and here comes the Matador punting unit. Or maybe not. I don't see much movement on that sideline.
Yeah, it could be one of those deals where the quarterback just kind of backs up to 7-8 yards and punts it. But, yeah, they're not changing any personnel. Good job there. We brought a blitz, which caused man coverage, and the Hornsby ran all the way across with an under route and was right there for the screen. He was ready for it. So good defensive play. We'll see if they actually go for it. Yeah, he's going to back up now and try to punt it.
Well, to your point, Brian, good observation. Daly is also their punter. That one a high kick. Doesn't have very much distance, but
good bounce.
Nearly hit the moon. Does take a Seguin bounce and hit a die inside the Smithson Valley 35.
And they got to kind of be careful there because unless they've changed the rules in the last year or two, which there has been a lot of rule changes. I mean, but 2-minute warnings and things like that.
Right.
But typically a punter is not protected unless he's over 10 yards. And so if you just back up with the quarterback 7 yards, he's still treated like a quarterback. You can't hit him late. But even if you laid out for a punt and kind of made contact with him, the rules don't apply as far as running into the kicker and stuff like that unless he's past 10 yards. And so something to keep in mind, if they continue to do that, the Rangers can really sell out to try to block that thing, because if they run into him, as long as it's not late, it won't be a penalty.
Ty Knutson give to Caleb Piegler, coming left, stiff arm, out of bounds at right around the 42, and Caleb with an 8-yard pickup on his first touch of the night.
Yeah, got outside zone into the boundary, got the edge sealed, went ahead and cracked the safety, so left the corner out there to make the tackle. And Piegler gets ahead around the outside, gives a little stiff arm, and good pickup, 8 yards on first down. Seguin doesn't do a whole lot of different things. They're going to line up pretty similar every time. They're trying to be basic but be fast, and so we'll see if they adjust the Rangers' formations tonight.
Including that play, 628 yards rushing for Piegler, though he's got more here. Cross the 40. Caleb, it's a foot race down the sideline, and he's scoring from 58 yards away.
Yeah, that time I think we handed off on the opposite side, on the right-hand side, trying to draw the linebackers that way, and the backside linebacker kind of got sucked in there, tried to flow over the top, and when Piegler cut it back to the backside, there was nobody there. Safety misfit it, and so a relatively great run by Piegler, not taking anything away from, but well blocked, and after that one initial cut, it was off to the races, and once he gets in the open field, we know his kind of speed. So, again, picturesque start for the Rangers, 3 and out, short punt, 2 or 3 plays, touchdown, so couldn't ask for a better start for the Rangers.
Trey Namaya on for the extra point. 7-0, a minute 42 into this ball game. We're going to step aside. Rangers on top early from Matador Stadium.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jeremy Fuller State Farm, United Rentals, Lynx Roofing, Orthopedic Performance Institute, Frost Bank, The Branch, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge, Christopher Ashley Pools, Singer Services, Methodist Healthcare, and Wick Productions.
United Rentals understands that your routine is never routine. That's why we stand in the same dirt, ready to help you work with unmatched equipment and expertise that turn worries into wins. So as the weather shifts, plans change, and project complexity increases, we stand united with you. United Rentals. Work united.
Thanks to Caleb Piegler's 14th rushing touchdown of the season. On his longest run of the year was 36, now 58, and a drive that went 2 plays, 66 yards. Piegler accounting for every one of those yards. The Rangers on top early here as Amaya's kick went through the back of the end zone again, and the Matadors will have it at the 25.
Yeah, Rangers going with the wind here in the first quarter. Didn't need it on that drive with 2 runs, but kind of attributed to the Seguin punt, kind of got it up in the wind and knocked the ball back a little bit. So after the Rangers 3 and out, forced a short punt. Rangers took care of business. So after Amaya kicks out of the end zone, Seguin to start again at the 25.
Daly, 156 of 245 on the year. Throws for 312 yards per game. This one won't count whistles.
Yeah, that'll make Coach Daly not happy. You know, delay a game coming out of a kickoff and so that'll back them up 5 yards. And obviously with the Rangers defense playing as well as they are, don't need to help them out any. Looked like they were trying to throw a little quick stop route up there and had some room, but delay a game out of a change of possession, so it's going to be 1st and 15.
Brian mentioning at the top of the broadcast, Craig Daly, the head coach, father of Corey Daly, quarterback. This Corey's 4th year as a starting signal caller. On 1st and 15, Moreno up the middle. Not a whole lot there, maybe a couple, depending on the spot. They'll give it to him at the 22.
Speaking of Daly, I mean, you can see why he's recruited. Obviously, he's a big old tall kid, 6'6", 6'7", throws the ball, and just the few passes we've seen him throw, you can see the arm strength is there. So Rangers doing a good job of keeping everything in front of him so far, knowing that he's got an arm and he can chunk it down the field if need be.
They did give Moreno 2. He gets it again. This time back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Seguin offense.
And it's going to be a big game for the Ranger D-line. They've already shown themselves so far, but if you can stop the run and get pressure on the quarterback with just your front four and not having to add blitzers, that way you can play cover 2 in the back end, have safeties over the top and corners underneath and not allow them to take the deep shot but still be able to stop the run, that's going to bode well for your defense, and they've been doing that so far.
2 receivers. Daly flanked on 3rd and 10 to the outside. Bobbled, then caught, but short of the first down, and it'll be 4th and let's call it 3 at right around the 32, maybe the 33 for a 4th and 2.
Yeah, and there's that arm strength right there, kind of middle of the field, right middle there, throws a deep out route to the left and throws it on a rope with great timing. It'd be interesting here, 4th and 1, even though you're at your own 33-yard line, obviously keeping the offense out on the field like they did last drive. Is he going to back up and punt it again? Or are they going to say, hey, we're already down 7, we got to do something, or maybe try to draw the Smithson Valley defense offside? Be curious to see what they do here.
You know what's interesting is, the coach is always so great about providing stats leading up to a game. Their punting stats, they only have 1 punter, and that's Daly listed, and he's only got 2 punts on there. So I just kind of assumed, okay, they haven't put on every one of his punts. But maybe they don't. Maybe they just don't punt it. Now, that doesn't mean that, they'll go for it in any kind of situation, but kind of the bigger point is, maybe they're not a team that, knowing Coach Craig Daly, it's a team that likes to gamble more often than not. Let's take you through your impact players here really quickly as Seguin caused time. Aiden Verrett now becoming a threat. Talking to Coach Larry Hill before the season, he said, hey, we're going to give Aiden that 87 jersey every once in a while and put him at tight end. Aiden, of course, the right tackle at number 76, but 3 catches last week, his first 3 of the season, including a touchdown. Clinton Goss, right guard, he lines up right next to Aiden, always vital in that pass protection for Knutson, Piegler and company. Brody Wick getting a lot of playing time over these last couple of games, productive last week, I should say, getting his first touchdown of 2025, filling in nicely. Jake Stover and Blayton Camacho defensively, both of them very active and a big part of why the Rangers defense has been so effective this season.
Yeah, a lot of guys playing roles, and that's the thing, that trademark the Smithson Valley team as a whole, right? Do your job and next man up, things like that, and all those guys have filled their roles very nicely, and will continue to do so. So looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th down, unless he backs up and punts it.
4th and 2 at their own 33. Here's Corey Daly. Throws, caught, but short, not even close.
Great play by McGee. He kind of trapped him. They're looking out there, and it's 4th and 2. And the quarterback for Seguin, Daly, looks out there and says, man, the corner's like 7 yards off. I can just throw a quick hitch out here. Surely he could pick up 2 yards. But they were trapping him. We played cover 2 over the top of it. So as soon as that ball was snapped, even before the quarterback raised up to throw it over there, McGee sprints downhill before the blocker could get there. And he beats the blocker on the hitch route, and he makes the tackle for a loss. Great disguise by the Ranger defense and a great play by McGee. And again, going back to why they don't have many punts is because of that, and also because they score a lot of points. They haven't had to punt the whole year. I mean, 34 points is their least amount scored in the entire year.
Knutson back for what would be his first pass attempt. There it is. Hunter Hogg sideline. Can't hold on to it.
Yeah, Smithson Valley tried the deep out of their own. Great job by Knutson. had some pressure up the middle, just rolled to his left, but no panic. Stop, flips his hips, throws a great ball, goes right through Haug's hands. He catches that 99 times out of 100. He'd like to have that one back, but a great throw by Ty. Smithson Valley trying to air it out on the first down, kind of taking a deeper shot in plus territory, knowing that it's probably 4-down territory.
Knutson, 16 of 22 for 208 yards, 3 touchdowns last week. Right side, first down for the Rangers. Luke Peace, his first reception on the first completion of the night for Knutson.
He'll play action, naked bootleg. Peace so often when we run outside zone the other way, he's trying to scoop or wash down the backside defensive end, so he does that for a count or two and then wheels out into the flat. One of Smithson Valley's favorite plays, and good throw by Ty on time. Breaks a tackle, ends up picking up a first down.
Peace, 4 catches, 48 yards in that victory against the Thunderbirds at Rutledge Stadium. His second reception of the night here on the second straight play. Takes several Matadors to get him down. Gets to right around the 16. 2nd and 3 coming for the Rangers.
A quick little throw out. You can tell that was a run-pass option. Not a true run-pass option in the sense you put it in the running back's belly and then decide post-snap, but a pre-snap read. Look out there. We have numbers. Give a quick jab to the running back and throw it out there. If he didn't like the numbers, he would have handed that off in the run play. So a good read by Ty. Get it in Peace's hands quick and breaks a tackle, carries the defender, and picks up 8 yards on first down.
20 catches for Peace on the season. Came in with 262 receiving yards. Pigler going right side. First touch since the touchdown. First down yardage and a new set of downs for the Rangers inside the Seguin 15.
Yeah, timing looked just a little bit off. We snapped it a little bit too early. Had to wait too long for Pigler to get there. So by the time he got it, those defensive ends were upfield that we were trying to influence go the other way. So he had to kind of bubble around those guys, which kind of threw off the timing of his lead blocker. Still able to pick up the first down, but I think with better timing there, it hits the crease and he might be walking in the end zone.
Pigler on the season, 620 yards coming in. Of course, that does not include the 66 on that first drive or these last 2 carries. Caleb inside the 10.
Yeah, O-line's doing a great job of crashing everything down, and Seguin's not doing a great job of keeping outside contain. Everybody's kind of pinching in, trying to stop the inside run. As soon as they see an inside handoff, they're trying to all pinch in there, but no one's keeping outside contain. With Pigler, with his great vision, he's kind of getting up into the line of scrimmage, drawing everybody in, then bouncing it to the outside and still able to pick up great yards on the outside with no outside contained by the Seguin defense. Going quick here.
Knutson rolls. Peace, that same play, stays on his feet. Luke into the end zone. Yet another touchdown for Mr. Luke Peace. His 3rd receiving of the season.
And came out quick in the huddle. Broke the huddle quick, ran up there to the line before the defense had really a chance to get set. Actually a pretty good job by Seguin. They had the safety who was manned up on Peace that triggered pretty quick. Could have had a chance to make a tackle for a minimal gain. But big old strong Peace, he catches it, lowers his shoulder, kind of gives a stiff arm, runs through a leg tackle, able to walk in the end zone. So again, 2 possessions, 3 and out by the defense, a short punt and also a turnover on downs, and 2 quick drives by the Rangers, and all of a sudden it's 14-0 in the blink of an eye, not even halfway through the first.
Let's step aside. Great start for the Rangers on the Ranger Network, looking to go to 4-0 in District 13, 5A Division I. We're back after this from Matador Stadium.
We would like to thank Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge for sponsoring our Rangers. They are a huge part of our community and have Ranger athletes of their very own. Thanks, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge. The Rangers appreciate Jeremy Fuller State Farm's support year after year of our Smithson Valley athletes. If you need home, auto, insurance, and more, call Jeremy Fuller State Farm today. Our Smithson Valley athletes appreciate the branch for all of their support. They keep our hungry athletes fed and contribute towards scholarships and overall athletic needs year after year. The Rangers appreciate you.
Trent Amaya kicking off for a 3rd time when you include the opening kickoff, and all 3 now have gone through the back of the end zone. Corey Daly and that Matador offense set to come out for a third time. Daly verbally committing to Pitt over the likes of UTSA, Texas State, UIW, San Diego State, Tulane, Fordham, Lamar, and UT Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, and you can see why. I mean, obviously he's got the tools. He's a big, tall kid. But the arm strength is there. We've seen a couple deep out routes. Ball's on a rope. It's on time. Coach's kid, he knows the offense, has a great command of the offense. So, obviously, he put a little bit of weight on, some muscle on once he gets to the collegiate level. And I have no doubt that he'll be successful playing on Saturdays.
As quarterback ratings go in high school, he's got one of 106.7. Back to pass here. Deep, sideline dropped.
And that's a throw right there that not a whole lot of guys can make, particularly at the high school level. They're in a trip set, and we're in the cover two, so our corner kind of comes inside to make sure that the inside two receivers don't catch a short route, and he's got to throw a hole shot on a streak route, and the outside guy put it on a line before the safety gets over the top, and he did a great job of just a drop by his receiver. But a great throw by him. Not a whole lot of guys can make that throw.
3 receivers here to our side. Lone receiver up top. Ian Moreno to Daly's right. Corey slant, incomplete. This one intended for Abron Acuna. Abron, 3 catches, 24 yards, a touchdown coming in. Unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, and it's I think it was a pretty decent throw, but we got right in the vision of the receiver. I think we actually blitzed Hornsby off the edge, and so Daly thinks it's an easy slant because the linebacker vacated the void, but then we dropped our defensive lineman Barrow, and he kind of dropped right in that throwing lane. He had to throw it over him, and I think it shielded the receiver so he couldn't see. So really good defensive scheme there.
Moreno up the gut on 3rd and 10. Picked up 7. So 4th and 3 for a Matador offense that went for it in a similar situation on their previous possession.
Yeah, that play call makes you think that they're going to go for it, trying to get some of those yardage back, knowing it's 4-down territory. Kind of caught the Rangers by surprise, broke through the 1st and 2nd level. If it wasn't for the safety, Phillip Smith coming up from his safety spot and making a great open field tackle, might have been a 1st down.
4th and 3 at their own 32. They appear to be going again. Trips to our side. There's a snap. Screen. Caught after a little bit of a tip.
Gonna be close.
It's going to be close.
They
needed to get to the 35.
Yeah, I think that last lunge, him kind of spinning out of a tackle and lunging forward, he barely got it. But again, just kind of rolling the dice, knowing that we've lost 2 straight district games, and knowing Smithson Valley down 14-0 already, and the prowess of their offense probably going to go down 21-0 unless we get a 1st down to get something going here. They go for it. Ends up paying off barely.
Well, huge 1st down, if for another reason, to keep Smithson Valley off the field in great field position again. Weaver, Elliott, man who caught the ball there, the leading receiver coming in for the Matadors. That is 40th catch of the season, 643 receiving yards, incomplete on 1st and 10.
Yeah, and you could see Daly getting frustrated with his receivers there a little bit. That's the 3rd or 4th ball that I think he's placed right on the money and just kind of went through the hands of the receiver. It was a trips concept up there and just a little simple stop route by the inside receiver. Ball was placed in a good spot, went right through his hands. Could have been a good pickup on 1st down, now 2nd and 10.
Intended for Weaver again. 7 touchdowns for Elliott this season. 107 yards per game receiving. Moreno up the middle. Couple. Brings up 3rd and let's call it 7.
Yeah, and judging by what they just did, you would think unless they take a sack here and it's 4th and forever that they're probably thinking 4-down territory. So wouldn't be surprised to see another quick throw or a handoff of some kind to try to make it 4th and manageable. If they're willing to go for it from their own 30, they're probably willing to go for it from their own 40. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a quick throw or handoff here.
Now trips to Daly's left side.
They might be trying to throw it to the single down here, thinking Haugs in off coverage, but we got a safety shaded over. There it is.
Looking right, then going left. Pass complete. 1st down.
I'll tell you what, that's a good read by Daly. He wanted to come down to the single. You see him pop over, and he's about to throw the stop route, but Haugs about to take that for a pick 6. He comes all the way back across the field and throws the out route to the furthest guy. So a great read by him, and also great throw all the way from the other hash. Pick up a first down.
Abron Acuna with the reception. Mentioned Abron earlier. 3 catches, 24 yards, a touchdown to start the night. Targeted several times here in the early going. 1st and 10 at exactly midfield. Daly again to the left, again complete, and near first down yardage.
Yeah, brought the pressure there. Seguin had a pretty good call trying to get it out quick. Pretty good tackle by the sophomore corner, Justin Hackett, in the open field. Come racing down. You know, he was in a bail coverage, keeping everything in front because the Ranger blitz. Good job of coming downhill, making an open field tackle to keep it to a minimal gain.
Acuna, 2nd straight tackle for the Matadors. 2nd and 3 at the Smithson Valley 43. The Matadors in Ranger territory for the first time tonight. We're under 3 minutes to go in the opening period. Daly chased Hudson Woods after him, incomplete down the sideline.
Good job of Woods getting right in his face, but then pulling up right at the last second, making sure not getting a late hit or anything like that. But great initial coverage by the Ranger secondary. He wanted to throw it quick on a little spot, speed out concept, all covered, so we had to roll out. And then a good job of the Ranger secondary sticking with the guys in the scramble drill, forcing him to have to throw it right before he went out of bounds. Incomplete, bring up a 3rd down.
SMU commit giving chase to a Pittsburgh commit. 3rd and 3 at the Ranger 43. Daly with trips to his right will keep. First time he's done that since the opening play of the night. Good decision. First down for the Matadors.
Yeah, spread everybody out. Run the design quarterback draw. Ends up picking up the first down. Pays the price for a little bit. Smith and company lay a pretty good lick on him, but I'm sure he'll take it in exchange for a first down. So by far, the Matadors' best drive of the night.
At the 37. Now twins to each side for Daly. Ian Moreno. Couple. And it seems like, Brian, like every time Moreno gets the ball, he's got a nice little lane to release some cushion so he can start downhill.
Yeah, and it all stems from their passing game. A lot of, like Smithson Valley, they run the ball to set up the pass. Seguin's kind of opposite, right? They pass the ball to set up the run. They have a lot of quick passes, put the receivers way out there, kind of get the linebackers out of the box, and then they'll run the ball when they see a light box. And one thing that we haven't talked about so far tonight is Piegler. You know, he's toting the rock and having a great night behind center, but now he's playing Mike linebacker like he did last year, filling in and stopping the run on the other side of the ball.
On 2nd down, Daly going toward that sideline, complete. Now looks like his receivers are kind of getting into a flow here. A couple of drops early, but that catch by Elliott Weaver will bring up 3rd and let's call it 3.
Just another good throw. That was well covered by Hornsby. Just a quick speed out. He was right in the back hip pocket. Daly put that right out in front where only his receiver could catch it. So a minimal gain, but still making it 3rd manageable. It's a good throw.
Brian mentioning Caleb Piegler playing some linebacker, Jacob Stover and Colton Hornsby rounding out that linebacking core. Caleb Barrow, Kyle Bierman, Justin Roberts, Hudson Woods, the starting defensive lineman. Moreno on 3rd and short across, first down, but there is a penalty.
Yeah, the back judge threw it, and one of the Seguin O-linemen's helmets was off. So I would assume it might be like a hands to the face or something from us. And if it is a penalty on the defense that calls the offensive player's helmet to come off, he does not have to come out of play. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Looks like Truth just got his hands up in there, trying to get up in the chest and separate, and slid up just a little bit. Took the helmet off of an offensive lineman. So because it's a penalty that caused it, he does not have to come off a play.
Truth, Duval L. and Caden Leak also see the field plenty for that Ranger defensive line. Colton West and Jacob Martinez also listed among the first 4 to back up the starting unit. So with that, Matadors have it inside the Ranger 15 and a chance to, they're hoping, cut this lead in half as we wind down quarter number 1, the clock at 1:10 and continuing to tick. Daly twins to each side, actually trips, empty backfield. Now 4 receivers to the right side as Elliott Weaver goes in motion. No chance. Hudson Woods with a big old sack on Daly.
Yeah, first time we've kind of got pressure tonight, and we didn't even have to bring a blitz to do it. Empty backfield. So he's trying to get rid of the ball quick on like a hot route, but Hudson beat the tackle so quickly that he didn't have time for his third step to hit the ground before Woods was in his face, and so a big sack there. And we'll see what Seguin does. Their response to this when they've got behind the chains is spread things out and then run the ball to get some of it back. So we'll see if they either go with that quarterback draw or hand it off to the running back to get something back.
Hudson's 5th sack of the season. Weaver down the sideline. Good gain toward the 10. And knocked out of bounds at, we'll call it the 11.
Yeah, a little quick throw out there. Was that Stover? Yeah, linebacker Stover did a good job of running through his blocker and at least trying to slow the guy down. But he was able to break that tackle and pick up some good yardage. So 3rd and 8. Looks like we're going to have a timeout here on the field.
Actually, the end of the first
In
quarter.
the first quarter.
Yeah, it caught up on me too. I said out of bounds. Apparently, he was not knocked out of bounds. He was rolled in bounds with a tackle because the clock kept running. At the end of one, Rangers up 14-0. The D looking to hold, though. Seguin threatening. We're back after this right here on the Ranger Network.
Smithson Valley Ranger athletes appreciate Christopher Ashley Pulls. Thank you for all of your support. They are a big part of our community and have their very own Ranger athletes. When you are ready to complete your backyard paradise, Christopher Ashley Pulls can bring your vision to life.
Every shoe they've ever worn has been black. That little voice they hear inside their heads is Coach Larry Hill. When asked their favorite color, they all agree it's always navy. They all believe that the baseball team, a certain law enforcement group, and the 4x4 side-by-side were all named after them. The only thing on their Christmas list is Whataburger gift cards. Each of them has officially changed their middle name to Smithson. When choosing their jersey number, they all answered anything but the number 1. They are the most Rangers in the world.
Stay Navy, my friend.
3rd and 8 as we start the second quarter for this Seguin offense, trailing Smithson Valley 14-0 at the Ranger 11. Corey Daly will keep, still behind the line of scrimmage though, so we can't throw it. Now looking to do that, lets it go back of the end zone. Too high. Although that was kind of a throw it away, but we'll see. Maybe, just give my guy a chance potentially. So 4th and 8. And here comes the kicking unit for the Matadors.
Yeah, Rangers showed a blitz, and so he thought he was going to have a quick one-on-one matchup to both receivers to his left. Linebacker who was showing blitz bailed out, got underneath the inside receiver, so he didn't really have anywhere to go. Scrambles, trying to find somewhere to go. Throws it out of the back of the end zone, and so they're thinking hopefully we can get some points out of this. They're going to send the field goal unit out.
This will be a 28-yard attempt for Gabe Hernandez, who per the stats is 1 of 1 from 29 yards. Does he have one from 28? Yes, he does.
Almost blocked right up the middle there. Got great pressure from Leak, and I think that was Phillip Smith. Almost got that blocked right up the middle, but best drive of Seguin's night, but a good job of the Ranger defense inside the red zone, stiffening up. So all started by that big sack on first down by Woods, so holding them just to 3 points. And now the Rangers necessarily haven't had to use the passing game so far, but if they wanted to, now they're going to be going against a pretty significant wind here. In the first quarter, you saw every time Amaya kicked off, it was 5 yards out of the back of the end zone, although he can kick out of the end zone regardless of the wind, but with the wind, he's definitely going to. So now Seguin's got the wind, and Smithson Valley will be going against the wind.
Regarding Trent, I'm not going to use that one word that starts with an A that I used last week. I learned my lesson.
Jinxed him.
I used it, and then, well, if you were watching last week, you know what happened. I'm not going to repeat it.
Well, I don't know how many PATs we have on the year, but we scored a lot of touchdowns, and so missing one is probably not going to hold it much against them. So, yeah, definitely an announcer's jinx there.
That was all me. Totally my fault, as Hernandez will kick us off following his 28-yard field goal. This is what they do, short kick and out of bounds. I say this is what they do because if you look at the averages, Gabe Hernandez has kicked off 16 times before that this season, an average of 17.9 yards per kickoff. They have another kicker, Edward Altamirano, who's had 12 kickoffs this year. His average is 19.3 yards per kick.
Yeah, so obviously it's a plan, but you think with the wind they have the ability to maybe boot it down there. When you run that consistently, it's because typically you don't have a kicker that you think can reach down there, and so you're going to give them good field position. But with the wind, you would think they might be able to. But obviously Smithson Valley prepared for it. Both of our deep guys were standing on the 20-yard line, so once again, Smithson Valley special teams well prepared. And that time they kicked it out of bounds, but if they'd have kicked it to a deep guy, we were ready for it.
Rangers, as is so often the case this season, waiting there for the officials to kind of catch us up on the events on the field. 1st and 10 here at the 38. Was going to say, as so often has been the case this season, the Rangers very efficient on offense, looking for a third score on a third possession. Hunter Haug, a little bit too deep for Hunter.
And I was just thinking, we had man coverage down here, and that corner was sitting about 3 yards inside leverage. And I was thinking, man, we're going to run a go route right here. Coaches were thinking the same thing. Just a little bit overthrown, but Haug had him beat by 2 or 3 steps. That ball's caught in stride. It's a touchdown. But Rangers taking a shot early on. Even if nothing else, you don't connect on that, obviously. It lets them know that, hey, we're willing to do that. Maybe loosens up those corners and safeties just a bit for the run game.
Hunter, the Rangers' leading receiver, 23 catches, 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, average of 19.5 every time he catches it. First handoff of the afternoon, the night, I should say, to Gunnar Sjoquist, spelling Piegler. Gunnar gets, let's call it 2 to the 40.
Yeah, Piegler getting a little bit of a break after having to play linebacker with the injury to De Toto, so he's having to fill in a linebacker a little bit, and so giving him a breather. So we got the sophomore Sjoquist in there. Looks like we got a Matador down there, hopefully just a cramp or something like that. He's up off the ground now, so hopefully he's all right. Looks like number 8.
Number 8 is Damian Garcia.
Yeah.
Linebackers got 28 tackles on the season, 2 fumble recoveries. So Damian Garcia, 6-foot linebacker, very opportunistic player for this Matador defense, making his way off the field. A little bit of a noticeable limp there with that right foot. Wishing him the best.
I think it might be Rangers' first third down of the night. Certainly their longest third down of the night. So.
It is. First third down attempt in the form of a 3rd and 8 from their own 40. Knutson under pressure, steps up, lets it go over the middle, complete. Inside the 20, it is Brody Wick. No one's catching him. 60 yards and a 20-0 lead for the Rangers. Wick's second touchdown in as many games.
Yeah, they tried to bring a blitz, and because of that, there's man pressure across the board. They actually had pressure in Ty's face. Great job of sidestepping it, step it up in the pocket. Brody finds the opening over the middle, hits him right in stride, and then once he catches it, it runs away from the defender, showing his speed. So first third down of the night, no problem. Seguin tries an all-out blitz and man coverage, and Ranger O-line picks it up, and Ty delivers, and Brody catches it in stride and runs away from everybody. Big touchdown.
Amaya's extra point makes it 21-3 with just 56 ticks gone by in quarter number 2. We're back after this on the Rangers Network. Smithson Valley off to another fantastic start.
From fall to winter to spring, every season starts with a roof inspection. As proud gold sponsors of the Smithson Valley Athletic Program, we know this community on and off your roof. On your roof, our game plan starts with identifying storm-related damages.
They inspect up there to catch anything we miss down here.
From minor repairs to full roof replacements, we have the people and material to fix any roof and protect your family. Links Roofing, peace of mind in any season.
Well, a little while ago, we talked about Brody Wick as an impact player. Last week, 3 catches, 129 yards, and a touchdown in that 48-7 route of Wagner. Tonight, first catch, 60 yards, goes for a score. Amaya Same story, into the end zone, touchback, and the Matadors will start at the 25.
Yeah, even into the wind, he's kicking in the end zone. So Matadors want no part of returning that. Smithson Valley is great on coverage. In fact, unlike most teams, Smithson Valley wants them to catch it. You know, they want them to try to bring it out and even try to pin them inside the 25, but Amaya kicks it deep into the end zone, even into the wind. But Seguin coming off their best offensive drive. They moved the ball, got a couple first downs, had a good mixture of run and pass, albeit kind of spread out. When the Rangers had a light box, they ran the ball but got all the way down inside the red zone. And if not for kind of a sack on first down, they got them off schedule. By far their best drive, and so see if they can continue the momentum here a little bit. Down big already, 21-3. You know they'd love to answer here and at least keep this game competitive.
It's a unit for the Matadors that has scored 32 offensive touchdowns. Weaver, the intended receiver, off the arm of Daly, incomplete. Jacob Stover there in the vicinity for the Rangers, as was Philip Smith and Noah Johnson.
Yeah, good coverage. And you can tell Smithson Valley, I mean, their defensive mindset is keep everything in front. If they want to throw the 5-yard out routes, 5-yard stop routes over and over and over, we're going to make them drive the length of the field, which is what they did last time, stiffened up inside the red zone. Just don't give up anything deep.
Moreno the get, I should say, off the daily give. Another good gain for Ian.
And that's the third or fourth time they've handed off inside with no fullback lead blocking, picked up pretty good yards. Our interior D-line is going to have to do a good job of closing those gaps and forcing them to either bounce it to the outside where all their help is or shut that down to force them to keep throwing. But that's a couple times in a row they've handed off and gotten good yardage, even when they don't have a fullback as a lead blocker.
Including tonight's action, Ian Moreno right around 500 yards rushing for the season. Fake to him, Weaver incomplete.
Yeah, it's tough. And, again, you can kind of see Daly's frustration there. Again, we talked about it already in a series or two ago. A couple balls right off the hands of the receivers. That would have been a first down. You know, we had a safety, Noah Johnson, coming down to make the tackle, but I believe he would have picked up enough for a first down there. But frustration there, a couple balls off the hands of the receivers. They're going to call a timeout to decide where they want to, punt it with the wind or where they want to go for it.
Seguin's second time out of the half. We're going to take it with them. 10-17 remaining. They got a 4th and 2 at their own 33. Will they go again? We'll find out after this.
I didn't put a filter on. Look at this. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, it's because Link's roofing is in the shop. Anything next to the toughest roofing you can get looks not so tough. Anything?
Link's Roof, the second toughest thing in the Smithson Valley area.
2 times already, Seguin has faced a 4th and short from inside its own 35. And they've gone for it those 2 previous times, 1 of 1. And it appears like they're about to go again. This a 4th and 2 at their own 33. Twins to each side for Corey Daly.
Looks like Rangers showing pressure. 6 guys up on the line. See if the linebackers, if they all come or if they bail out and try to get underneath an inside throw. They all come.
Daly keeps
Fumbled.
balls loose.
Regardless whether we got it or not.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. Well shy of the marker, and that Smithson Valley D holds the Ranger offense coming back on the field.
Yeah, they try to spread everybody out and run that quarterback draw that they've done a couple times and had success with. That time, Coach Worstford and the defensive staff said, hey, we're going to bring some pressure, and if they want to catch and throw and try to get a quick out, more power to them, but we're not going to let them run the ball for the first down. Stop him in the backfield. Even if he didn't fumble there, he was stopped well short of the first down. So Ranger offense in great field position. Piegler back out there at running back. They'll have the ball 32, 33-yard line going in.
On 1st and 10, Piegler, Haug, back to Knutson, wide open down the middle. Quentin Sampson, welcome back, Q.
I think they call that play razzle-dazzle. hand it off to the running back, who flips it to the wide receiver on a reverse, who then flips it back to the quarterback. While all that's going on, the receiver pretends to block for a long time and then slips behind the defense. No one around him. And I'll tell you this, as an ex-quarterback, that's one of the hardest throws to make is when they're wide open. You'd almost rather them be a little bit covered knowing that you've got to throw it in this exact spot. When they're that wide open, you're like, just don't overthrow him. Please don't overthrow him. That time he didn't put enough air on it. Quentin runs under it, and I think that was his first play from scrimmage tonight. Good to see him back. He's been out for a couple weeks with injury. So slide him in there, and one play, one touchdown. And after the Ranger stop on defense, all it takes is one play for the Rangers to get on the board, 28-3.
We've still got 10:02 remaining before the intermission. Rangers extending the lead to 25. We're back after this on the Rangers Network.
United Rentals understands that your routine is never routine. That's why we stand in the same dirt, ready to help you work with unmatched equipment and expertise that turn worries into wins. So as the weather shifts, plans change, and project complexity increases, we stand united with you. United Rentals. Work united.
Matador Stadium in Seguin. The Matadors looking for their second district victory of 2025 would move them to 500 in league play. Beat Victoria East 38-21 on September 19th. Since then, a loss to Bernie Champion, 57-50 in a shootout. Every time they get together with Champion, it's a shootout. Tell you about their game last year against the Chargers. Fair catch here made at the 19-yard line. So the Matadors will have it at the 25.
Yeah, and when that was a big ball game between Champion and Seguin. Obviously, with Smithson Valley, Piper, New Braunfels being undefeated in the district, they're in a big matchup tonight between with New Braunfels and Piper. Who's going to fight for that fourth spot? You know, and so you would think that it would be kind of between Seguin, Bernie Champion, and Wagner. With Wagner being down a little bit this year, it's a big win for Bernie Champion, and as you said, the last couple years have been a shootout. I think there's probably 500 combined points in the last 3 years between those two teams. Bernie Champion getting the edge there, so now they're on the inside track. If they beat Wagner, they're kind of steering the course for that fourth playoff spot.
Well, speaking of Piper, that's who beat Seguin last week, 56-42. On 1st and 10, it's Elliott Weaver who's able to haul that one in from Daly. Kyle Bierman coming over in on that stop for the Rangers.
You got to think at some point Seguin's going to try to have to push the ball down the field. Smithson Valley's doing a great job not allowing that, playing a lot of cover two with safeties over the top, keeping everything in front. But you think they'd have to try to take a shot here, down 28-3. They can't afford to, try to move the ball down the field in 3- and 4-yard chunks. I imagine if they are able to pick up a first down here, that they would take a shot here, shot deep, whether it be a trick play or just a one-on-one matchup down the sideline. They're going to have to start pushing the ball down the field a little bit, and they certainly have the quarterback with the arm strength to do it.
Well, 3rd and 3 at the 32. And we're a play away from finding out if Seguin would go for it again on a 4th and short from inside their own 35. First things first, 3rd and 3. As mentioned, at the 32, trips to the right for Daly. Comes to the near side.
Oh. McGee baited him. Again, we're baiting him to that single receiver side. Corners playing off 7-8 yards with only 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. So the quarterback looks over there and says, I can throw this little 3-yard, 4-yard stop route. No problem, pick up the first down. But we got a safety rolling over the top, which gives the freedom for the corner to scream downhill knowing he's got help over the top. And that time we were about half a yard away from McGee stepping in front of that for a pick six. But regardless, I think he got a piece of it off the receiver's hands, and so now it's going to force a punt.
They will not go for it, Brian. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over you.
It's okay.
I was going to say they will not go for it for a 4th time on 4th down from inside their own 35.
And again, you can see why they're in these track meets of games, right? You can see why they're high-scoring affairs. A lot of times they're scoring a lot of points, but then stuff like that, they're taking risk. Here they are down 28-3. They decide to punt the football. They've got about a 15-mile-an-hour wind at their back. If they were to just punt the ball regular and send somebody out there and get the ball up in the wind, it's going to be a good punt. But instead, they just back the quarterback up. He has to rush it so he doesn't get blocked. And even with the wind, it's only about a 15-yard punt. And so Ranger offense, great field position again.
At their own 47, they're across midfield. First catch of the night for Isaiah Reggie. 9th catch of the season.
Yeah, so really talented sophomore Reggie there at receiver. And almost looked surprised that he was getting thrown to him. It was a pretty tight coverage. Newton threw a bullet, and almost Reggie had no choice but to catch it. Kind of hit him right in the chest, and did a good job of trapping it and picking up some yardage on first down. But Rangers already passed midfield because of that short punt.
Pair of catches for 23 yards last week for Reggie. 2nd and 3 at the Matador 46. Piegler breaks a couple of tackles. Caleb in the open field. Caleb's inside the 20. Piegler brought down just inside the 5.
And it was good blocking up front, but it was a fantastic job by Piegler in the backfield. They brought an outside backer on a blitz, and that's a gap scheme where the guard is supposed to kick him out, but he came so quick off the edge, the guard didn't have a chance to get there. So Piegler had to make an unblocked guy miss in the backfield, and it's just really impressive that you have to stop, jump cut, make him miss, and then accelerate to still get through the hole and outrun everybody. Really impressive run by Piegler, almost takes it to the house.
1st and goal at the 2. Piegler behind Knutson in shotgun. Reggie in motion. Piegler gets to and Piegler gets to score. 2nd score of the night for Caleb Piegler.
Piegler in for the Ranger touchdown.
Yeah, Ranger offense just moving at will. The offensive line is just dominating the line of scrimmage right now. Moving bodies, getting up to the second level, blocking the linebackers. Fullback's doing a great job getting to the second level as well. I don't think there's been a time tonight where the running back, whether it's been Piegler or Shoquist or whoever's been in there, has even had to make a cut until they're 2 or 3 yards into the line of scrimmage, which tells you the O-line's getting a lot of movement. So a lot of credit to them, and Rangers up big already.
Amaya makes it 35-3 with 7:47 remaining in the first half. You're watching a Rangers Network Smithson Valley domination.
United Rentals understands that your routine is never routine. That's why we stand in the same dirt, ready to help you work with unmatched equipment and expertise that turn worries into wins. So as the weather shifts, plans change, and project complexity increases, we stand united with you. United Rentals. Work united.
Trent Amaya, and this is not specific to tonight, but that leg probably going to be already getting a little tired.
Well, I'd be interested here. Into the wind. This is usually when Smithson Valley likes to tell Amaya to pop one up real high, let the wind catch it, and see if we can either get down there or knock him in. Yeah, he's going to kick it short. Oh, they're going to fair catch.
Elliott Weaver.
Camacho really wanted him not to fair catch it. He came loose, he beat his guy, and he was going to be right there as soon as he caught it. But, yeah, into the wind with how powerful of a leg that Amaya has. If he kicks it really hard but high, that wind holds it up for a long time. And if they don't fair catch it, either our coverage team is right down on them to make a tackle, or sometimes that wind pushes it back and the ball's on the ground. So pretty heads-up play to fair catch it, but you can tell what Smithson Valley's trying to do. They're trying to get even more. We'll see if Seguin takes a shot down the field here. They haven't really launched one deep with Daly. We'll see if, down 35-3, they're kind of desperate times. See if they start pushing the ball down the field and taking some shots.
Daly, the district MVP a year ago offensively. Trips to this side, lone receiver to his right. Looking this way. Has to throw it away. Good coverage, and not to mention Caden Leak
was
shadowing him.
Yeah, and we got some size up front. I was down on the field a couple weeks ago in pregame, and Leak walked by me, and he's a big kid, and he looks like the other guys that are up there on the D-line, and that's just a testament to the size of Smithson Valley's D-front. And we got about 6 guys that can roll in there without missing a beat, so really good defensive pressure. Something must have happened to Hornsby's helmet because he's wearing a helmet with no stripe or no number, so it looks like it's a backup helmet that was on the sideline that he's having to use. So something must have happened to where they're working on his real one over there on the sideline.
Keeping an eye on that. Hornsby wears number 17. More than likely know that, but just in case. Complete out to the near side. Brings up 3rd and short at the, let's call it 33.
And we're in that situation again. If we do throw
an
incompletion here,
I'm looking forward to every one of their 4th downs.
Are they going for it again? I mean, at this point, it's like, Dan Campbell with the Lions. I mean, it's either who you are or you might as well do it. So
3rd and 2 exactly, and yes, at the 33 is what they face. Daly shotgun. Moreno, well, no 4th down on this one. Gets across. He needed the 35, and he got to the 35.5.
Yeah, I think that was the first time, I know in tonight's ball game, but probably not used very often. They brought an extra lineman in and had a 3-man surface like a tight end with 2 backs in the backfield, and so pretty much knew they were running the ball there. Good job of blocking up front, letting them get through, and so barely picks up the 1st down and a much-needed 1st down for the Matadors.
Moreno busy in the early going. That's not uncommon. 94 yards per game for Ian, so as often as they throw it, he gets numbers on the ground as well. Daly coming to our side, pass complete, spin move, but out of bounds. And it's Moreno doing it with his hands, along with everything he's done with his feet tonight for this Matador offense.
Yeah, and you could see Daly, the quarterback, communicating with his dad, Coach Daly. He wanted to throw to the single up there, and he looked over there, was about to throw it. But again, great job by Smithson Valley disguising the coverage. And that's a sophomore corner over there, Hackett. He comes screaming down, knowing he's got safety help with the cover too, but they showed it late. But a really good heads-up play of Daly not throwing it, coming back across, scrambling a little bit, and picking up a 1st down on a scramble drill. But if he'd have let that original read go, that would have been a pick 6 by the sophomore.
Moreno, 17 catches out of the backfield coming in. That one batted down.
Didn't see who got a hand on it, but there was a couple guys that got some good pressure. We had Bierman in there, had Leak in there. I think that was Barrow. Someone got a hand on it. Couldn't see which one it was, but someone got their big paw up and knocked that thing down. But pretty good coverage out there anyways.
Might have been Bierman. Either way, 2nd and 10. Their own 46 for the Matadors. Trips to the right. Daly comes over here to the lone receiver side. They're splitting out Moreno out more over here, and that one overthrown.
And it was a good read. Daly read that there was pressure, so he knew he was going to have one-on-one coverage down here because there was no safety. He had to move over to the trips. Linebacker coming off the edge, but because of the pressure, he had to throw it off his back foot, and it sailed just a little bit. So pressure creating a bad throw up front, bringing up a 3rd and long for Seguin, 3rd and 10. Looks like we might bring pressure again. Solo down here with McGee to the single receiver.
Same formation, it looks like, for the Matadors.
Yep.
And I think miscommunication there. Looks like Daly was, go ahead.
Well, they didn't have enough bodies to protect. We brought, Coach Worstfer brought some pressure. 2 linebackers, including the boundary linebacker, Weston Haney. And so he knew he had one-on-one, but they had called a deeper route, and he didn't have time. He had to get rid of it before the receiver turned his head because there was some unblocked pressure there. And so he had to get rid of it. They were trying to throw the ball deep down the field, but he just couldn't hold on to it that long because there was 2 guys coming free. Good pressure by Haney and a good call by Coach Worsty. 4th and 10.
At their own 46, Daly, deep drop, airs it out down the middle into double coverage. No chance.
Oh, great coverage over the top. Bracket coverage. We had a safety running with him, and then the other safety, Johnson, played over the top once he saw the ball. So really good defensive series by the Rangers, and a great job by Coach Worstfer and staff mixing things up, giving Daly different looks, bringing pressure, not letting him sit back in the pocket because that's what he's so good at, and that's how they've scored 34 at minimum points a game most of the time in the 50s. is because so many defenses are worried about covering guys. They don't get a whole lot of pressure on him. And at 6'7" back there, he's got time. He can see over the entire line. So if he's got time, he's going to dissect the defense. And so Coach Worsty and staff making sure that he doesn't have the time to do that and getting a lot of pressure on him in the last couple series.
Well, to your point, Brian, you look at their offensive outputs. Began the year by scoring 35 against Alamo Heights. The problem is the Mules scored 70 that night, but 35 against Alamo Heights, 42 against Corpus Christi Miller, 34 against Brazos Wood, as Pigler comes around right side. And that might be the first time the Rangers have lost yardage on a play from scrimmage.
Yeah, they did a good job. Seguin, they slanted into our call, slanted towards our fullback, and so the nose beat the center. And there's no cutback lane for Pigler there. So first real penetration that the Seguin D-line is able to have tonight, and first time the Rangers haven't had picked a positive yardage on a play.
And just to finish the thought on Seguin's offensive output, 35, 42, and 34 the first 3 weeks. Scored 31 in the victory against Victoria East, and even in losses the last 2 weeks, 50 against Champion and 42 against Piper. Knutson. In the flat, it's Pigler to the 45 of Seguin, and so third and right around 9 coming for the Rangers, maybe 10, depending on the spot.
Yeah, good job by Knutson of going through all his reads. Pigler was the third option. He looked over the middle, wasn't open. Good coverage by Seguin. Goes the second option. They had a flat defender underneath the throw, so he comes all the way down to Pigler, checks it down, picks up 5 or 6 yards to make it a third manageable.
Officially 3rd and 8 to Seguin 44. Delay handoff, Pigler up the middle, short of the first down, and the Rangers' first 4th down coming up.
Yeah, and into the wind here. I know Amaya's got a really good leg, but this would be a 59-yarder into the wind and just a little bit too close to punt. And so you could tell that Coach Hill was thinking 4-down territory this whole time by calling that draw play on 3rd and long, seeing if he could pick up some yardage to make it a 4th and manageable. But no hesitation here. Smithson Valley's going to go for it. Taking a page out of Seguin's playbook, going for it. Only difference is they're in plus territory and not at their own 30-yard line.
4th and 6 is Seguin 42. Knutson looking left, goes that way, complete down the sideline. Brody Wick's got a second touchdown.
4th and 8, and you have the confidence to throw a hitch out there. You see off coverage. It was a great job by Brody catching it, hitting the burst, and you could tell he was just thinking, I've got to haul butt as quick as I can just to try to pick this first down up. And then he kind of looked up and said, there's nobody out here. Hit the afterburners. I'm not sure who was blocking for him, but he did a great job of reaching the cornerback, and that's a cardinal sin by a corner. If you're the outside guy, you cannot let anything outside of you. He's got to run through the outside shoulder of the blocker. That time he tried to come inside, and so whenever the block was delivered, there was nobody on the outside. So 4th and 8, something as simple as a nice, easy hitch route ends up being a touchdown. Great throw and catch and good speed by Brody Wick.
It's almost as if our producer knew something when we chose Brody Wick as one of our impact players. Another look. Brody getting that fantastic block, and then once he hit the sideline, off to the races, and nobody was catching 19.
And you can see that corner. He kind of just takes the block head on, assuming that that Brody's going to go back to the inside, but those guys are taught, chase the sideline, and if you got the sideline, stay there. If not, expand it, then get back inside. There was nobody out there, so good block in front of him, and then good burst of speed by Brody there. 4th and 8, throwing a hitch. They had a different concept down here to the field in case they needed to throw it past the chains, but Ty looks over there and says, man, we got off coverage with numbers. Let's just throw and catch right here and see if we can go get it. Turns into a first down and even more.
I think, Brian, that might have been Aiden Verrett out there wearing 87.
Well, that would make sense why it was such a good block.
I think I saw 7, right?
Yeah.
Which, exactly, with standard reason.
Yeah, that would make sense because it was a heck of a block to allow to Brody to get the edge there. Oh, you can't fair catch a bounce. Oh.
Well, there's the whistle. Is Elliott Weaver.
There might be another rule change that I don't know about.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason why they called the little squib kick, trying to get it on the ground to not allow Seguin to fair catch it. But he fair caught it and then caught it on the bounce. So I guess you can fair catch one that bounces first.
Let's see where they give him the ball. I'm interested to see what happens here, where they spot the ball. Because the officials they're not walking toward the 25.
Okay, so I guess if the ball hits the ground and you called fair catch, it's where you catch it at. So cool. Now they get it at the 11.
There you go.
I learn a new rule every week up here.
Well, they're changing them on us constantly, so.
I've been out of the game too long. That's a new one on me. I didn't even know that you could fair catch one that hits the ground. That's the point of kicking a squib, is so that they can't fair catch it. But nonetheless, Rangers do what they wanted to do anyways, is pin them deep. And so now Seguin starting, haven't had a whole lot of success offensively. Now they have the worst starting field position of the night at their own 11-yard line.
Four wides, it's Moreno again up the middle. And again, that Ranger defensive line ready and waiting. Caleb Barrow among several Rangers there for the stop.
Yeah, and big number 99, Justin Roberts, was the first one to arrive. And again, those interior guys don't get a whole lot of love. We've said this a couple times. They're the ones getting double teamed all night. Defensive ends kind of got that solo coverage, and so a lot of times they're the ones that get the sack. Those interior guys are getting double teamed. That time, Roberts got double teamed, cross face of the center, and still was able to make the play at the line of scrimmage to stop the run. So a really impressive move there by big number 99.
Roberts 16 tackles to start the night from that defensive tackle spot. Complete on the screen. Again, that Smithson Valley pursuit, the gang tackling, no chance for any positive Seguin offensive play.
And again, that was one of the most impressive plays that I've seen by an interior defensive lineman. Roberts gets up the field, gets cut blocked. The offensive lineman goes to cut his legs. He gets cut, still gets up. They throw the ball to the outside, gets up off the ground, sprints to the sideline, and has the speed from an interior defensive lineman who just got cut to be able to make the tackle on a bubble screen. That's about as impressive of a play that you can have from a three technique that I've seen in a long time.
3rd and 12, their own 9 for the Matadors. Daly was a missile, incomplete.
Yeah, had him sitting in a window there, but linebacker was kind of inside the hash, so he had to try to put on his outside shoulder. Ball was just a little high, had some pressure up front. Good coverage, and 4th and 12 from your own 11. They're gonna go for it.
I mean, I can't imagine, although it is 42-3 and there's 2:08 remaining.
Yeah, you don't want it to be 49-3 going into
I
half.
can't imagine you. I mean,
take a timeout.
There's been no change of personnel whatsoever.
And we know that because, they punt with this personnel, but still, we think, okay, it's 4th down. They're keeping that same personnel. They're going to punt. But half the time they've gone for it and not gotten it. So now they're going to talk about it, I guess. They took a timeout.
Well, they couldn't wait for the 2-minute timeout because of the play clock. And so they have to stop it to talk with 2:08 remaining before the intermission. Yeah. There's no way.
Live by the door, live by the sword, die by the sword. You've done it this whole time. Now this is different, obviously. It's not 4th and 2, 4th and 3, and you are on your own 11-yard line. So I cannot imagine, 9-yard line, excuse me, that they would do it. But I guess you never know. I think in their minds, regardless of whether Smithson Valley gets the ball on the 40 or the 10, they're probably going to score. Smithson Valley hadn't punted all night, and they've, every possession they had, they scored touchdowns. But I can't imagine that they wouldn't punt it here. But, again, if I'm Smithson Valley, come after it. Because even if the quarterback backs up 2 steps, you can still lay out. And even if you don't get it and hit and run into him, it's not a penalty unless he's more than 11 yards deep.
Well, the Rangers.
Well, now he is. He's truly in a punt position now.
Yeah, and the Rangers on their end have Noah Johnson back. He normally returns kicks for the Rangers. So Daly in an obvious punting formation here in his own end zone. High, and this one didn't go far at all. Bounces at the Ranger 30, the Seguin 30, I should say, but then takes the Matador bounce. Still, the Rangers will have fantastic field position at the Seguin 45.
With all 3 timeouts. And I mean, at the rate that the Ranger offense is going, running through the Matador defense, they don't, even if they didn't have any timeouts with a minute 53, you'd be confident that they would move the ball and put some points on the board. But, and then all that being said, Smithson Valley gets the ball coming out at half. And so I would imagine that you would see the Smithson Valley starters for this series and probably the first one coming out of half, and then that would probably be it for the evening. But, still want to be sharp, even though you're at 42-3. Not trying to run up the score, but it's still the first half. And so you're still going to run your offense and try to be sharp and get some work, knowing that your starters aren't probably going to play much in the second half. So I wouldn't necessarily just say that, hey, Smithson Valley's going to come out and run it a couple times. If they score, cool. If not, whatever. They're going to try to score here. Still the first half, and you still want your starters to get some reps, knowing that they're not going to get much in the second half.
To Brian's point, this is the fourth game, maybe fifth, that has taken on this kind of trajectory for the Rangers. They beat Roosevelt 62-6 to open the season. The first half went very much like this. 2 weeks later, they beat Madison 42-10. First half it went very much like this. The week after that, in Bernie, they beat Champion 41-14, a big lead in the first half in that one. And then last week, in beating Wagner 48-7, the first half looked an awful lot like this one.
I think it was 42-0 at half.
Yep.
This is 42-3 right now, with Rangers having a chance to put another one up on the board. So, again, you're not in the second half. You know these guys aren't going to play much, so might as well get as much as you can get right now.
Knutson through the air. Nice break. Wick on the sideline.
Yeah, deep out route.
Reggie, I believe.
Okay, yeah, Reggie. Yeah, sophomore Reggie. Good job pressing the corner deep, thinking he's going to go for a vertical route and then slamming on the brakes. Great timing by Ty. Anytime you're throwing a 15-yard out route on a rope, that's we've been talking a lot about Daly's arm tonight, but Knutson says, I got one of my own, and that was an absolute missile there on a deep out route. Rangers pick up a pretty easy first down.
Reggie's 10th catch of 2025, first intended to 29. Knutson rolling, settles in, goes down. First sack of the night for the Matadors.
That was a miscommunication and a bust right there. I think supposed to hand that ball off or something, but either way, Ty pulls it and is looking downfield, and both of his receivers are blocking. Not a single one of them was running a route. And so he does a smart thing and just kind of steps up in the pocket, takes a sack. But there's some sort of miscommunication there because neither receiver had their eyes or head turned around looking for a ball. And so obvious miscommunication there.
Kyle Medrano, Hunter Mika, Michael Roman, the three defensive linemen for the Matadors. Knutson over the middle, incomplete. Ian Moreno playing defense for the Matadors in coverage.
Yeah, just a little bit behind him. Tried to run a little skinny post. I believe that's Peace over the middle. Inside slot on a skinny post, just a hair behind him. Don't know if Ty was trying to stop him in the hole there or not, but regardless, ball behind him. And after that miscommunication on first down, incompletion here, Rangers have a 3rd and long.
51 seconds remaining in the first half, and it takes till now for only the second 3rd down for the Ranger offense. At the Matador 30.
This ball's either got to go to Haug or maybe some sort of run play.
Oh, it hits Braxton Sawyer. Ball is loose. Seguin's got it, I believe.
Yeah.
Signal, there we go. I think when Sawyer was going in motion, it hit his leg.
Yeah, that's 2 out of 3 plays there were miscommunications. And even though you're up 42-3 and it's basically been a perfect half, that's something that Coach Hill and staff will be able to point to. The first down, it's obvious miscommunication. Receivers not on the same page with the quarterback. No one's open, or no one's looking for the ball. Second down, incomplete pass. And then 3rd down there, I don't know whether the motion was supposed to go faster or whether Ty forgot that there was a motion. But regardless, the ball was snapped right when the motion was coming across, hits the fullback in the thigh, and for the Smithson Valley's first turnover of the ball game. So pretty sloppy drive and something that, even if you're up 42-3, you hate to see that.
Got a question for you regarding that following this play. Daly looking left, pass complete, tight end Tyler Trevino. His 10th reception of the season, 84 yards coming in. That's Seguin offense hurrying.
Yeah, they
Clock
had no
now under
timeouts.
40.
They've used all the timeouts deciding whether they were going to punt or not, so they have no timeouts left.
Yep, clock is now under 30 as they snap it from their own 44. Daly going backwards with that arm. He launches it toward the sideline. So here's the question I was going to ask, Brian. Considering the score, considering, bigger picture, is that the kind of thing that Coach Larry Hill goes, all right, fantastic. I got something that I can get on these guys on. I got a coachable moment in a game and a stretch, really, when you look over the last couple of weeks, where the Rangers have done an awful lot of things right.
In the moment, no. In the moment, he does not like that. Maybe it's something that you have that's a talking point at halftime or after the game or something that's over to maybe keep their, to be able to pick something out. But in the moment, you want your guys to go out there and execute. And those guys want to go out there and execute, right? Knowing that starting group, they probably only got one series left in the ball game. They're probably going to come out and do the first half or the first drive of the second half, but then their night's probably done. They don't want to end on something like that with a sloppy drive. And so, yes, maybe later on it might be a blessing in disguise so that the coaches can have something and, to harp on a little bit. But in the moment, no, you want to be sharp as often as you can. You don't want to have self-inflicted wounds. If they stop you and you do everything right, that's fine. Tip your hat to them. But that drive was 2 out of the 3 plays were miscommunications and mistakes by the Rangers, and you never want that.
Incomplete on 3rd and 10 from their own 44. So with 16 ticks left, you got to figure that given what they've done, this is definitely go territory for them. 4th and 10 from their own 44 with just 16 seconds before the break.
And here's the thing. If they throw it and it's incomplete, there's still 11, 12 seconds left on the clock. Smithson Valley's got 3 timeouts. And the leg of Amaya, yes, he's into the win, but if it's incomplete here and you get the ball on the 44-yard line, 1 completion, call a timeout, you may have time for 3 plays. Heck, you might have another chance here right before half to go down and make up for that last drive and get some points on the board.
On 4th and 10, Daly's going to keep. And he picks up the first down, still on his feet across the 40, out of bounds, and 8 seconds remaining. Home cooking on the clock control. That clock stopped at 8 seconds when Daly was crossing the 40 and still inbound.
Yeah, they're helping him out just a little bit there. But, again, kind of a gutsy call there on 4th down. Not sure whether it was a call from the get-go or whether it was a check at the line of scrimmage. Smithson Valley, no linebackers in the box, empty set. Thinking 4th and 10, surely they're going to throw this thing. So they moved all the linebackers out. Quarterback draw ends up picking up a first down. So now, Seguin, 8 seconds left. They obviously are going to take a shot to the end zone or try to throw it towards the sideline with no timeouts left. So let's see what they do.
Empty backfield for Daly. Lets it go. Pass complete, but they can't stop the clock, and that's the way. Well, they stop the clock so the markers can move with 2 ticks. Will that be enough to get the snap off?
It shouldn't. They start the clock so quick nowadays when the changer set.
Let's see. And there we go. Clock. Let's see what the officials say. No. Okay, good. Pausing there for a moment just in case they said that he did kill it with a tick left. That is how the first half comes to an end. Smithson Valley 42, Seguin 3. Halftime is next, and we'll be right back here at Matador Stadium for second half action on the Rangers Network.
At Lynx Roofing, every job has a halftime. Time to finish strong.
Okay, it was a rough start to the half. We kept our composure, though. We know the heat got to us. Jonathan, you pulled through, though. The second half, I'm going to need all your guys to clean up the material. Can you do that?
Yes, Coach. I got you.
Okay, John, now that the tear-off is behind us, your team has to focus on the dry-in and the install of those beautiful GF shingles. Can you do that for me?
Yes, Coach.
All right, then. Let's go out there. Let's execute. Let's make sure that house never forgets that Lynx was there. Let's go.
Sure, it was just a skit. But for us, every roof is game time.
Roofing doesn't always work like this, but you can't wait until the second half of your roof's life to make adjustments. Here at Lynx Roofing, we repair and replace roofs, so we have you covered any time of the year.
Hey, tell them about Smithson Valley.
Oh, that's right. Lynx Roofing is a proud gold sponsor of the Smithson Valley Athletic Program, committed to the community both on and off the field.
Junior Lieutenant Kendall Keller, Senior Lieutenant Reagan Miggy, Lieutenant Colonel Sadie Salas, and your Colonel Sophie Zettler. The Social Committee President is Zoe Owens. The Silver Spur Spirit Girl of the Week is Sydney Salas, and the Dancer of the Week is Bo Briggs. Tonight, performing an upbeat streamer routine to California girls, please put your hands together for your Silver Spurs. And Lindsay Gillian. The Silver Spurs would like to thank Paul Allen Holmes, Victory Concrete, Beauty Wise Med Spa and Wellness, Texas House Collective, Matkin Hoover Engineering and Surveying, Guido Materials, Spa Glass, American Dance Company, Joni's Dance Studio, Briggs Cabinetry, NT Group, Stony Creek, and Mean Homemaker. Thank you for your continued support. And let's hear it one last time for your Silver Spurs. Ranger fans, help us recognize our Ranger Band section of the week, the alto saxophones. Next, the Ranger Band will perform their UIL marching show entitled The Jungle Games. Their show will feature the music from Henry Jackman, Dance Helmsberger, Rossano Galante, Guns N' Roses, and Ben Hilton. Soloists for the Ranger Band are Lila Winkler on clarinet and Carly Kay on flute.
It is an adventure of great merit. Many who have played have never been seen again. But of course, what harm could possibly come from playing a single game? Now, who wants to go first?
path to outrun it or stand your ground. Flowers bloom, they take the fight. They don't get too close, or they might take a bite. The hyenas welcome their newfound feast. Rhino charge. Get out of the way. If you don't move, it could be your last day.
Links Roofing, every job has a halftime. Time to finish strong.
Okay, it was a rough start to the half. We kept our composure though. We know the heat got to us. Jonathan, you pulled through though. The second half, I'm gonna need all your guys to clean up the material. Can you do that?
Yes, coach, I got you.
Okay, John, now that the tear-off is behind us, your team has to focus on the dry-in and the install of those beautiful GF shingles. Can you do that for me?
Yes, coach.
All right then, let's go out there, let's execute. Let's make sure that that house never forgets that Lynx was there. Let's go.
Sure, it was just a skit, but for us, every roof is game time.
Roofing doesn't always work like this, but you can't wait until the second half of your roof's life to make adjustments. Here at Lynx Roofing, we repair and replace roofs, so we have you covered any time of the year.
Hey, tell them about Smithson Valley.
Oh, that's right. Lynx Roofing is a proud gold sponsor of the Smithson Valley Athletic Program, committed to the community both on and off the field.
It is so crazy to think that I wore that. My final game, my senior year.
I was in the science club and I was a member of the first golf team at Canyon High School.
I'm proud to be alumni of Comal ISD because of the community and support that they give us. Teachers and coaches that poured into me gave me the confidence to come back and have those leadership skills to pour into these kids the way I was.
Being a graduate of Comal ISD has impacted my life just because of the connections I've made, and it makes me want to carry myself in a way that represents the district as a whole. I currently play football here at Trinity. An accounting major, I'm a junior here.
The reason I decided to run for the board was I loved my experience in Comal. And when I realized that there was an opportunity to not only shape my own children's lives, but that of 30,000 children and 3,500 staff members to just grow greatness, to go out into the world to be better citizens for tomorrow. So it is a true passion of mine that Comal ISD continues to go that path.
It's really neat knowing that a lot of these girls grew up coming to watch, and even last year I had a girl that graduated and she had showed me pictures and film of her sitting in the stands when I played, and I thought that was super cool, and she's expressed to me how neat it is for her to play for me.
It set a foundation that has led me to create a very successful family insurance business and serve over 28 years in public office, both locally and at the state level.
Knowing that I'm part of a bigger family of an amazing group of individuals, and just going to school in San Antonio, I often run into more alumni of Comal ISD, and just getting the chance to talk to them and seeing their experiences and seeing where they are now is amazing.
Oh my goodness, it's tradition, it's pride. I think it's something that there's no better compliment than being raised here and then coming back to have your kids have a similar experience as my own. And while my heart is all Navy, you better believe you'll find me with my purple community cheering on those Warriors in the Friday night lights at the Coliseum.
Cougar spirit still lives in me, and when I went to Canyon High School, we were the only high school in the district. And now look at it. It's one of the largest, most prolific districts in the Central Texas area, both athletically and scholastically. And so I'm very proud of that.
Gavin, appreciate you joining us again. I'm Chris Cooley. We're here from the GBTC Foundation, and we want to talk to you about the scholarship you applied for with us, the CTE, the Career and Technical Education Scholarship. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir.
Where did you find out about this scholarship from? How did you hear about it?
Actually, one of my friends texted it to me just because they knew I participated in the CTEs.
Well, let me tell you, that is a very good friend, because we're here to tell you you have won the 2025 GBTC Foundation $7,500 CTE scholarship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
I think.
Well, sorry to call you down to the office. This is Chris Cooley, and we're here with the GBTC Foundation. We wanted to talk to you about the Ola Armstrong Scholarship that you applied for. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you've applied for quite a few, right? There's a lot of scholarships out there, but we're here to tell you that you are the recipient of the 2025 $15,000 Ola Armstrong Scholarship from the GBTC Foundation. Congratulations to you.
I couldn't be more proud. Thank you so much.
Well, hello, Riley. This is Chris Cooley here from the GBTC Foundation. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Well, sorry to catch you on the road.
No, you're good.
We looks like you're in trouble here. There's a lot of people here, but we've got some questions about your application. This is regarding our GBTC Foundation Richie T. Sorrells Scholarship.
Yes, sir.
Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir, it does.
I'm sure you filled out a lot of applications. We see you're on the road. I know you're coming back from a school trip, so we'll jump right to it and tell you congratulations. You are the recipient of the 2025 GBTC Foundation $25,000 Richie T. Sorrells Scholarship. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I was not expecting this.
Well, I plan on going into graphic design at Texas State University, and hopefully afterwards being able to use that in my own career experience and hopefully start a business or work through a business, learning on that.
Well, I just want to start by saying thank you to the GBTC Foundation again for giving me this opportunity. It will go a long way in helping pay for college by covering just a chunk of my first semester or more. I'm planning to do something with math, not quite sure yet, but perhaps actuarial science, and this will definitely help further my education in that. So thank you very much again.
So this is going to go towards my education at Texas A&M University. I plan to major in animal science and pursue a career in veterinary medicine, whether that be through working in a vet clinic or product development and research. It's been a passion of mine for many, many years, and I plan to pursue that further in the future. I want to say thank y'all so much for all that y'all do to support youth development in our community. It means so much to me and countless other youth, and it really encourages youth in our community, whether that by acknowledging their leadership, community service, and hard work. So I just want to say thank you for everything that y'all do to support youth in our community. It means so much to me and countless others.
Congratulations to all of you, to the students and to your parents as well. It's a big day for y'all, but it's also a really big day for all of us. As Richie mentioned, this is who we are. So I think for us, you know, what we do in the community and investing in the students, to have a day like this, to be able to come and see the faces, not only the people that get to award these, they get to see the real surprises when you guys go, which is great. I think they video that so we can see it too. But it's just a great day for all of us. And so glad y'all are here to all celebrate this together.
Comal ISD has always been more than a district. It's a community where friendships are made, traditions are built, and futures are launched. Now, we're inviting you, our alumni, to join the next chapter. The Comal Education Foundation is launching the Alumni Network to celebrate your stories, build connections, and support today's students. Wherever life is taking you, we want to welcome you back. Visit comalisd.org/alumni and join today. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jeremy Fuller State Farm, United Rentals, Lynx Roofing, Orthopedic Performance Institute, Frost Bank, The Branch, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge, Christopher Ashley Pools, Singer Services, Methodist Healthcare, and Wick Productions. We would like to thank Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge for sponsoring our Rangers. They are a huge part of our community and have Ranger athletes of their very own. Thanks, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge. The Rangers appreciate Jeremy Fuller State Farm's support year after year of our Smithson Valley athletes. If you need home, auto, insurance, and more, call Jeremy Fuller State Farm today. Our Smithson Valley athletes appreciate the branch for all of their support. They keep our hungry athletes fed and contribute towards scholarships and overall athletic needs year after year. The Rangers appreciate you. Smithson Valley Ranger athletes appreciate Christopher Ashley Pulls. Thank you for all of your support. They are a big part of our community and have their very own Ranger athletes. When you are ready to complete your backyard paradise, Christopher Ashley Pulls can bring your vision to life.
United Rentals understands that your routine is never routine. That's why we stand in the same dirt, ready to help you work with unmatched equipment and expertise that turn worries into wins. So as the weather shifts, plans change, and project complexity increases, we stand united with you. United Rentals. Work united.
You know, everyone's lifestyle inside is all connected through Wi-Fi. Your IoT devices, your TV, the streamers, the gamers. And we in Texas, we love being out in the backyard. We love extending, I think, what we do inside to the outside. Whether it's grilling, whether it's swimming, hanging out at night, listening to music, the outdoor Wi-Fi product really extends that Wi-Fi in your lifestyle to the outdoors. We think about connecting products like your security cameras that you can get through GVTC. Talk about your smart lights, your smart speakers. It's the she shed outside, right? For all the women who love to do projects outside, just the same as a workshop. Wherever you want to connect your Wi-Fi, it really is taking the best of the indoor premium Wi-Fi and extending it outdoors into whatever lifestyle that you have.
Every shoe they've ever worn has been black. That little voice they hear inside their heads is Coach Larry Hill. When asked their favorite color, they all agree it's always navy. They all believe that the baseball team, a certain law enforcement group, and the 4x4 side-by-side were all named after them. The only thing on their Christmas list is Whataburger gift cards. Each of them has officially changed their middle name to Smithson. When choosing their jersey number, they all answered anything but the number 1. They are the most Rangers in the world.
Stay Navy, my friend.
Are you sure you don't want to go to the movies, Abuela?
Mijo, I love you, but I prefer the classic movies. You go, have a good time. What's this?
Just come with me.
Oh, ay, mijo.
Your choice, Abuela.
GVTC, connecting you.
At Lynx Roofing, every job has a halftime. Time to finish strong.
Okay, it was a rough start to the half. We kept our composure though. We know the heat got to us. Jonathan, you pulled through though. The second half, I'm gonna need all your guys to clean up the material. Can you do that?
Yes, Coach, I got you.
Okay, John, now that the tear-off is behind us, your team has to focus on the dry-in and the install of those beautiful GF shingles. Can you do that for me?
Yes, Coach.
All right then, let's go out there, let's execute. Let's make sure that that house never forgets that Lynx was there. Let's go.
Sure, it was just a skit, but for us, every roof is game time.
Roofing doesn't always work like this, but you can't wait until the second half of your roof's life to make adjustments. Here at Lynx Roofing, we repair and replace roofs, so we have you covered any time of the year.
Hey, tell them about Smithson Valley.
Oh, that's right. Lynx Roofing is a proud gold sponsor of the Smithson Valley Athletic Program. committed to the community both on and off the field.
About to get underway with half number 2 right here on the Rangers Network. Smithson Valley a 42-3 lead on the Seguin squad, looking to break a 2-game losing streak. At least that was the goal coming into tonight. 1-2 in 13-5 in Division 1. Hector Ledesma alongside Brian Hill, as the Rangers will get the ball first with that 39-point lead. Short kickoff goes out of bounds right in front of Hunter Haug. And the Smithson Valley offense that scored on 6 of its 7 possessions in half number 1 takes the field for the first time in the third quarter.
Yeah, and obviously they're not happy with that last one. They were 6 for 6, and that one lone non-touchdown came in the last offensive possession before the half, and 2 out of those 3 plays there was miscommunications. The first time the receivers and quarterback were on the same page, and the third time the motion caused a fumble. So the starters are going to come back out here. Piegler not dotting the I, but pretty much everybody else is out there, and they're going to see if they can get 1 series and then probably take the rest of the half off.
Similar to last week, Brian, and it stands to reason even more so this week with Caleb playing linebacker, as he did, I think, some maybe last week as well against Wagner. When the regulars came out for the second half, he did not. I don't think he took a single snap in the third quarter. I could be wrong, but if memory serves correct, he was not out there when the third quarter began, as Gunnar Sjöquist gets the carry on the first play from scrimmage in the second half, his second carry of the night.
Yeah, kind of a mixture here. Starters and some other guys.
Speaking of Isaiah Reggie, the intended receiver there off the rollout from Knutson.
So, yeah, you got your starting offensive line, starting quarterback and fullback, but you got Sjöquist in there at running back. You got, I believe that's Kirk and Reggie at receiver. So, guys like Brody and Haug and Q and Piegler getting a little bit of a break. But, again, as we talked about last week, it's important that these guys also get reps with a starting group, with the starting quarterback, in case needed down the road playing in November and December.
Kyle Gugliotti, the starting center, is in there. Chance Peterson is the guard. Incomplete. Knutson looking middle for Jacob Kirk. First pass that has been thrown his way tonight. Jacob 3 catches coming in, 43 yards.
Yeah, it was a good timing throw. Second of the third receiver kind of running a skinny post. Kind of hits him in the chest and wasn't able to hang on. Kind of caught him by surprise a little bit. Didn't get his head around super quick. It was a good throw by Ty. Would have easily picked up the first down there, but kind of goes through the hands. And so Smithson Valley, will they turned it over the last possession, so it'll be the first punt of the night.
Maya standing at his own 31. Line drive kick, good Ranger bounce, fielded at the 16, an instant tackle. Wonderful special teams play.
It was a heck of a play by Camacho, and they're going to get a flag there. It was a block in the back. He gets shoved right in the back and still is able to make the play, kind of holding that arm a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. But even without the penalty, that's heck of a punt and really good coverage, and now it's going to even be half the distance to the goal from there because of the block in the back. So great play by Camacho and a good end over end with a good roll punt by Amaya.
Camacho, good special teams play as the call goes the way Brian described it. Bladen, 14 tackles at the safety spot. Good special teams play there. And with the penalty, Seguin inside its own 10. Corey Daly, young man who has 365 all-purpose yards, total yards, so you factor in the passing yards, 2,234 coming in. 4 receivers, Ian Moreno, busy in the first half, featured back for the Matadors, gets the carry.
And that's been their best play of the night, is kind of widening the Ranger defense out, and multiple receivers, widen those linebackers out, run that little fold play, and just letting him hit it straight downhill and kind of move the pile. Haven't had much success in the passing game, and anytime they're trying to take a shot down the field, they got pressure in the face by the D-line. And so see if Seguin, obviously kind of not already waving the white flag, but obviously down 42-3, you're not really thinking comeback here. So let's see if they just kind of continue that, run the clock a little bit, see if they can pick up a couple first downs.
Following the 4-yard pickup for Moreno, 2nd and 6 at the 12. Moreno again. Nice moves in space. First down yardage. Matadors move the sticks.
Yeah, there it is again, light box. And again, Smithson Valley's okay with that. If up 42-3, if that's what you want to do and get 4 or 5 yards a carry and have a 15-play drive and take up half the quarter, that's fine with us. We're not going to allow the deep shot down the field. And so we'll see if Seguin wants to continue being patient and run the ball with a light box, or, whether they're going to try to press the ball down the field. And that's where Smithson Valley has really, clamped them down tonight, is in that passing game. And so we'll see if Seguin's okay with running the ball and Rangers keeping everything in front of them.
At the 19, trips to our side. Again, Moreno. This time, not a whole lot there.
That time the Ranger D-line was able to get off the double team and make a play. I think that was Leak. Roberts is in there. Duvall, Barrow. Those guys able to stop the run, just the front 4. And if you can do that, stop the run again with just the front 4 and have linebackers out in coverage, that's when you're really successful. And so they ran that play 3 times in a row. That time they didn't have much success, so let's see if they go to the air here.
2nd down and 9. 3 straight running plays for the Matadors. Quick pass, intended for Weaver. Bit of a hop. Looked in live action, at least, like it hit the ground before Weaver had a chance.
Yeah, Stover was there, too. Even if that ball was caught, looks like he was going to make a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Does a good job of play recognition. As soon as the quarterback raises up, looks like he's going to throw it quick. He triggers downhill and kind of defeats the block. So even if that ball was caught, probably going to be a minimal gain, but regardless, incomplete, and got a 3rd and long here. We'll see if Coach Worsty dials up a blitz and he tries to bring some pressure on Daly.
3rd and 9 at their own 20. Corey Keeps and Justin Roberts able to bring him down after a gain of a couple. Spotted at the 24.
One time we did bring a blitz and forced the quarterback up into the pocket and tried to run it. Great recognition by the interior D-line, and Roberts getting off his block, recognizing quarterback, kind of pulling it down, collapsing the inside. Still picks up a couple yards, but doesn't allow him to get the first down. So 4th and 5, and Daly's backing up now. Looks like he's going to punt with the wind. See if he can get one. Previous couple punts have not been great. That one's better.
Whole lot better. Noah Johnson able to make the catch over his shoulder as he was going backward. Look at Noah going left. 45, midfield. The 40. Another good return for Noah Johnson.
And just a really disciplined, special teams plays, return plays, whether it be kickoff or punt or whatever, those are the most penalized plays in football, right? Because you got the returner kind of not a designed play call, so he's changing directions, going where there's open space. And especially in today's day and age where there's blindside blocks and things like that, it's the most penalized play. There was 3 different Rangers, including at the very end, Roberts, who could have had easily a block in the back or a blindside block. And they kind of turned to the side, shielded him like a little basketball shield like you see. So Rangers get off their best punt of the night, still get great field position because of the great return.
On 1st and 10, Luke Peace coming right. Tackled it right around the 36. Noah Johnson, good kick returner. A lot of times on kickoffs, 34-yard average every time he's brought one back. And he's returning punts tonight, Brian, because of what Seguin does in terms of their personnel just stays out there on 4th down. And so you have no choice but, because their offensive personnel stays out there, there's movement. Free play, Knutson going to the left sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, Wick was going for his 3rd touchdown of the night. Free play. Got him to jump off sides, throw the ball up. Just a hair underthrown. Had to come back through him, but no harm, no foul. Got a free 5 yards. But going back to your point, because they stay in their own offensive personnel, usually we have 2 punt returners back there, right, when it's an obvious punt return situation with Howg and Johnson. But because they keep their same personnel out there, and half the time tonight they've ended up going for it, you got to keep kind of a base defense and just move one safety back there. So it's a really good job by him of fielding that ball in the air and getting a good return even with only one guy back there.
Following the penalty, 2nd and 3 for the Rangers. Here's Shoquist. First down yardage to the 20. The 15 gunner. Woo! If not tripped up, he's into the end zone.
And again, just not great outside contained by their outside linebacker. They're in a 3-down defense. Their outside linebacker is the edge player, and our fullback goes out to block him. And I want to give all the credit in the world to our fullback, Sawyer, who goes out there and blocks him. That's what he's taught, is to try to reach him. But most of the time, the outside linebacker is not going to let you reach him. He's going to come up the field and force the ball back inside, and Seguin has not done that all night, and that's about the 3rd or 4th time our outside zone has been able to get to the edge with no edge contained from Seguin's defense.
1st and goal at the 8. Knutson. Shoquist, a move, cutting it up inside. Seguin defense ready for him.
And that time was a good play by the backside linebacker, reading the pulling guard. We actually got a good kick out block, and the double team on the front side was good, but we weren't able to come off on the backside linebacker. He did a good job of reading it and getting over the top and waiting right there in the hole for a minimal gain. So it was a pretty good play by their linebacker, number 11, Julius Rivera.
Rivera, the leading tackler, coming in 44 on the year. 3 of them for loss, a sack, and interception. So Julius, very, very active. Their playmaker. Timeout. Coach Larry Hill takes it. Rangers 2nd and goal from the 6. On this 2nd possession for them offensively of the 3rd quarter.
It didn't look like the play clock was running low, so there must have been a misalignment or some confusion of some kind, or Coach Hill just didn't like the play call based off the defense that he saw Seguin come out in. They had plenty of time to get the play off, so it wasn't a situation where the play clock was running out. Just wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page and get the best call that they could. Probably tie in those offensive linemen's last series of the night. So obviously you want to cap it off with a touchdown and don't want to have a mistake down here. So call a timeout, make sure everything's right. And then you can pretty much guarantee next series some other guys are going to start rolling in.
This the 4th ever meeting between these two programs. All of them coming in the last 4 years when you go back to 2022 thanks to realignment. Rangers hold a 3-0 lead, got Seguin 56-17 in 2022. Beat them 56-0 the following year, and then last season a 47-7 victory over the Matadors.
And remember last year they jumped out like 2nd play of the game, ran a little post route and was actually up 7-0, and then that was kind of the end of it from there.
Knutson keeps rolling left, has a lane and a cleared path into the end zone. Ty Knutson. First rushing touchdown of the night for Ty. 5th of the season on the grounds, and a 48-3 lead with the Trent Amaya, point after to come.
Yeah, 2 plays ago we talked about how impressive it was of a play by the linebacker number 11, Julius Rivera, of reading the pulling guard and getting over the top. So Coach Hill and staff says, okay, if the linebackers want to read it that well, we're going to fake that and just do kind of a scat bootleg naked by the quarterback. We're going to pull the guard the other way, make them chase it, and then the quarterback's going to keep it out the backside. That time they chased it just like they did 2 plays before, and there's nobody out there, and an easy walk-in touchdown.
Amaya's extra point makes it 49-3, 6:33 remaining in the 3rd quarter. We're back after this on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jeremy Fuller State Farm, United Rentals, Lynx Roofing, Orthopedic Performance Institute, Frost Bank, The Branch, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge, Christopher Ashley Pools, Singer Services, Methodist Healthcare, and Wick Productions.
Trent Amaya kicking us off following the Rangers' first touchdown of the 2nd half. Fair catch called for and made by Seguin at the 15, but per high school rules, whenever a fair catch is made, no matter where it is on the field on a kickoff, they'll get it at the 25.
And again, into the wind. Amaya could have probably got that all the way in zone. That was a planned deal. Kick it as high as you can, let that wind kind of push it back. And he tried to drop it in that little, all the kickoffs we've done tonight have gone to the right side of the Ranger kickoff team. So they kind of started shading everybody over there. So we kicked it to the left thinking, hey, there's nobody over there. Might be able to drop it in a hole. And no one there. Pretty good recognition by their guy just to get back there and make a fair catch.
Daly for receivers. Moreno to his left. Comes this way. Complete. Abron Acuna. Good for 5. Knocked out of bounds to 30.
Good recognition by the sophomore corner, number 21, Justin Hackett. Good. And again, Smithson Valley, they're okay with that. Keep everything in front of them. We're up 49-3. That's fine. They want to throw 5-yard stop routes. We're going to backpedal, not let anything over the top, rally to the football. Good job coming downhill and making a tackle for a minimal gain there.
Moreno. Crossed the 30. Got 2 more. We'll bring up 3rd and 3 from the 32.
Yeah, good tackle there by the junior linebacker, number 25, Weston Haney. Looked like he was going to be able to pick up that first down, but it was a good fit by him, able to hang on with a good thump and stop him for only about a 2-yard gain and bringing up 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3.
Moreno, big part of this Matador offense, 115 carries coming into the night, especially with how pass heavy they are. It tells you how much they rely on him. Daly keeps those legs moving, but he's short by about 2 yards of the first down, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, and it's hard to keep him short. Even if it feels like even if he falls forward, he's going to pick up the first down with how tall he is. But design quarterback run there. Great job by the defensive end. I think that was 96, Kyle Johnson, getting underneath the puller. Maybe that was Jacob Martinez getting underneath and slowing it down where he couldn't hit it straight downhill. Had to try to bounce it outside. Really good job by the linebackers. Gap exchanging there. Nothing there for Daly. And like I said, him being 6'6", 6'7", something like that, even if he falls forward, he's going to pick up a first. But they were able to drive him back there, bringing up a 4th and 2.
3 times in the first half, they went for it in this scenario. A 4th time tonight, and they pick it up. Now 2 of 4 in terms of 4th down conversions to attempts in this ball game, and all of them have come from inside their own 35.
Yeah, it was a late effort, pretty good effort by him. It looks like we had stopped him right at the line to gain, and he kind of reached that ball forward just to pick it up barely. Another attempt there, bringing up a 1st and 10. But again, the Rangers are very content with a slow, methodical drive, keeping everything in front of them, not giving up a big play.
Daly runs for about 61 yards per outing, hovering around 400 rushing yards, including tonight's action. Elliott Weaver. Nice job of picking up some yards after the catch. Gets near the 45. They'll spot it at the 42.
Another big tackle by Haney there. Secondary, they threw a little quick hitch out. Pretty good move by the receiver. Breaking a tackle or two, getting a couple positive yards, and Haney coming from his linebacker position inside out, making a tackle there. So pretty good pickup on first down.
Weston Haney, a junior, 9 tackles, 2 of them for loss coming into tonight. Weaver again. Quick hitch near midfield. Just shy of it. Say he was tackled inbound, keep the clock running, and so now Seguin, new set of downs at their own 49.
Good tackle there. Looks like O'Malley coming up from a safety spot. Norrid, number 42, from his linebacker spot. Even though he picked up a first down, good discipline there on the tackle. Inside hip and not letting him go anywhere. Good compression tackle there. And again, Ranger defense is perfectly fine allowing them to pick up a couple first downs, getting a couple yards at a time, just trying to keep everything in front of them.
Braden O'Malley, senior safety. 7 tackles coming in. Here's Moreno, gets the handoff. Across the 45 near the 40. Another first down for the Matadors. Whenever I see Moreno, I think the term scat back comes to mind when I see Ian Moreno run.
Yeah, and he looks really small out there. He's probably an average sized guy, but standing next to Daly, he looks like he's very, very short, but in reality he's probably 5'8", 5'9".
You hit it right on the head. He goes 5'8", 175.
But yeah, compared standing next to to Daly out there at 6'7". He looks pretty small, but yeah, you can tell he moves around. He's very good on the side-to-side movements and things like that. And another good ball that goes off the hands of the receiver. We did have good coverage by Petty there from the safety spot. But again, another ball that kind of goes off the hands of the receivers.
Intended for Elliott Weaver, who they threw to a couple times previously on this same possession near the sideline, trying to get him on a slant there. 2nd and 10 from the Ranger 39. This the second time tonight only that the Matadors have gone into Ranger territory. The first time it resulted in their only points of the night, 28-yard field goal. Moreno again, this time can escape. Owen Truss in on the stop.
Yeah, Truss and Nord in there both. We had both linebackers up on the line of scrimmage and pinched everybody inside and really closed up those inside gaps, had more than they could block. So pretty good formation recognition by the defensive staff, knowing that we could bring one more than they could block in probably a run type situation. So tackle for loss, bringing up a 3rd and down, see if the Rangers can get a stop.
11 yards to go. Daly, another slant, this time to the other side, complete. Braden O'Malley there in coverage makes the stop.
Again, just a good job of keeping everything in front. Yeah, that was a 5-yard completion, but no catch and run after the fact. He was right there whenever he made the catch for a tackle, and that's all you can ask for, bringing up a 4th down, 4th and medium here. See if the Ranger defense get off the field. I would imagine Coach Worsey's going to bring some pressure here.
Like the Matadors did several plays ago, they're going for it on this 4th down. Need 5 yards. They're at the Ranger scoreboard, says 35. The ball's right a nose away from being at the 34. Daly, deep drop over the middle. Turnover. Well, I was about to say turnover on downs, and here comes the laundry.
Yeah, and I think they're correct in that. And the thing about it is I don't think it was a catchable ball.
It wasn't.
It didn't need to happen, but we definitely grabbed and hooked. I'm not sure. Maybe I think that might have been Petty there in coverage. He had good coverage. He was right in the back hip pocket, and we had pressure on the quarterback and forced him to kind of float it up there. It was kind of unnecessary. Ball was 7-8 yards past him. But we did grab on there and kind of get him turned. Anytime that you're grabbing on and they see jersey extended in the body of the receiver turn, they're going to call that. So fortunately it was the right call, but I think it was unnecessary. I don't think that ball would have been caught regardless.
Well, with the penalty, new life for Seguin on the drive. They've got it at the Ranger 19. Clock showing 1:04 left in period number 3. Moreno dropped it.
Pass intended for Moreno brings up 2nd down.
Several drops by Seguin pass catchers this evening, the majority of them coming in the early going. But reason for Corey Daly's frustration throughout the night.
Yeah, it's not just the quarterback either. It's not great body language down here by the coaches. And that happened, all their coaches took their headset off and kind of was in disbelief as well. And so body language not great by the Matadors here, and can't really blame them. That's a lot of drops on the night.
Weaver breaks a tackle, goes across the 15.
And again, another great pursuit inside out from linebacker Haney, showing his speed. Anytime a linebacker can come make a play on an edge-type bubble screen for a minimal gain, you know that he's running sideline to sideline. It's a good tackle by him. Still picked up about 4 yards there, so it'll bring up 3rd and 6.
At the Ranger 15. Twins to each side for Daly. Moreno's to his right. Out of the pocket is Daly, lets it go toward the goal line. 1st down, inside the 5.
Good initial coverage by the Rangers downfield. Nothing there originally. Daly does a good job stepping up and then getting outside the pocket and throws a good strong ball on the run, rolling to his right, and a good job by his receiver going down to get it. Again, tough play, guarding and covering somebody for that long. on a scramble type drill. So Seguin down inside the 5, knocking on the door. Into the third quarter.
Marcus Troy, the reception, and that's how quarter number 3 comes to an end. Matadors knocking on the door. We're back after this on the Rangers Network.
We would like to thank Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge for sponsoring our Rangers. They are a huge part of our community and have Ranger athletes of their very own. Thanks, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge. The Rangers appreciate Jeremy Fuller State Farm's support year after year of our Smithson Valley athletes. If you need home, auto, insurance, and more, call Jeremy Fuller State Farm today. Our Smithson Valley athletes appreciate the branch for all of their support. They keep our hungry athletes fed and contribute towards scholarships and overall athletic needs year after year. The Rangers appreciate you. Smithson Valley Ranger athletes appreciate Christopher Ashley Pulls. Thank you for all of your support. They are a big part of our community and have their very own Ranger athletes. When you are ready to complete your backyard paradise, Christopher Ashley Pulls can bring your vision to life.
Matador Stadium, Seguin getting its first touchdown of the night. Corey Daly with the scoring strike. And on the first play of the fourth quarter, Seguin, with the point after to come, makes this a 49-9 game on the scoreboard.
Now slipped the running back out of the backfield. I believe that was Moreno. Hard to account for a running back out of the backfield. You're hoping that your rush can get there before a running back can get out in the flats. But he was able to squeeze out there, and Seguin's on the board with the first touchdown of the evening.
Daly's 18th tossing touchdown of 2025. Gabe Hernandez booting the extra point through. And 4 seconds into the final frame, Seguin gets its first 7. Some stats here through 3 quarters. Knutson, who's I think we'd be shocked if we saw him come out again tonight.
Yeah.
Goes 10 of 15 tonight, 190, 4 touchdowns, one of them on the ground. Caleb Piegler, 118 yards rushing, 8 carries, 1 catch for 6 yards. Luke Peace, 4 receptions, 27 yards. One of those a score. Gunnar Sjoquist, 3 carries, 26 yards, 1 catch for 2. Brody Wick, a big night, 102 yards receiving on just 2 catches. Both went for touchdowns.
Yeah, efficient night from the Rangers, and they haven't really had many plays, to be honest with you. I mean, they had a couple 2, 3, 4 play drives, and then and scoring pretty quickly. And as you say, most of those guys you just mentioned, that's all in one half of football.
Yeah.
They're not playing here in the second half.
Short kick out of bounds. Quentin Sampson, the 1 catch off the razzle-dazzle, 32 yards, who went for a score. And Isaiah Reggie, 2 receptions for 23 yards.
Tell you what, those are really heads-up play by Leak, who's a frontline guy who plays on the D-line, not used to kind of having the ball in his hands. They tried a little bloop kick there, and it was really high. So instead of him taking the chance of maybe it going out of bounds, maybe them getting a chance to recover, he just jumps up there and like a basketball, like boxing out, he just kind of tips it out of bounds. So that's why it wasn't a penalty. The ball went out right there, but it was a really heads-up play, just knocking it out of bounds from him. And, again, you could tell Rangers work special teams a lot, and it shows there. Got some new guys in. We'll try to call them out as we go. The quarterback's Easton Walker.
Easton Walker, the signal caller, takes a hit, goes down on his first play from scrimmage.
They ran a little bootleg. They're bringing everybody. Nothing to lose, really, so they brought pretty much 7 guys there. Nothing Easton can do. Right when he came out of his fake, there was an untouched linebacker coming off the edge. Kind of a high risk, high reward. If we were able to get outside, there was nobody covering him because the guy who was supposed to be covering him was blitzing. So tackle for loss in the first play there from Seguin's defense.
Easton, 14 pass attempts this year, 11 completions, 104 yards, touchdown and an interception. The pitch here to Shoquist. Gunner across the 40, Gunner across midfield into Matador territory, still on its feet. Touchdown, Gunner Shoquist, 60 yards away. We now wait to see what the flag's for.
We had a referee on the other side of the field about 50 yards away go ahead and launch a flag. He's going to be a part of the play, I guess, but it was just an incredible run by Shoquist, and most guys would run out of bounds there. He lowers his shoulder and runs through a tackler. I didn't see what the flag was, but no referee that was involved directly with the play at the point of attack saw anything, but the guy 70 yards away went ahead and threw a flag, so he's got to get involved in the game somehow, I guess.
Well, it's coming back, as you can tell, based on where the players are on the field.
And a wide receiver who was on the bottom side away from the play. Didn't really have much to do with the play. Just takes away an absolutely incredible run by Shoquist there. Impressive throw by the ref. I mean, that was a good 30, 40-yard launch with the flag.
Good distance there on the heave, but the 45 now, their own 45, the Rangers. 2nd and 13. Fielder Finley in at receiver. He's number 23. Shoquist is number 22. Has it. Look at Gunner making up for what happened on the last play.
Yeah.
Not that it was his fault,
yeah,
but in terms of just getting the yardage back.
You can see the explosiveness. Just a sophomore, Shoquist. You can see on the last play and that one right there how smooth he is with the ball in his hands. And also, you know, as a sophomore, sometimes come in a little timid, you know. Definitely not him. He's not looking to run out of bounds. He's looking to cut the ball back and lower his shoulder. So back-to-back impressive plays by him. And a good ball by Walker there, hitting him in stride. Again, Seguin selling out to the run, bringing 7 guys. And that's why in the last 2 plays you've seen, once you get past that initial, if you get past the initial line of scrimmage, there's really nobody left. So it's kind of feast or famine for the Seguin defense right now, bringing everybody. Can make you look bad, tackle for loss, or give up a big play there. So we'll see if we can handle them up front. If we do, we're looking for big chunks.
Gunner, 112 yards coming into tonight on 19 carries. He scored 3 touchdowns. Pretty busy here in the early going in the 4th. Not his first touches of the night, though. 2nd down and 9 following the gain of 1. Again, he'll lose a couple this time. Spotted it the 30, so exactly 10 yards needed for a new set of downs.
Yeah, curious to see if they don't get much here. Would Coach Hill send out Amaya to get some field goal work here? Obviously, you don't need the points, but Amaya hadn't got a chance to kick a field goal here tonight, so maybe run him out there just to get him some work. But I think if they get close to a first down, they're probably going to go for it. So unless it's a no gain or tackle for loss, I'd imagine they'd go for it.
Pass completed down the sideline, big hit, but being able to hold on to the football is Gavin Kellner. Gavin got a catch last week in that huge win against Wagner. First reception tonight.
Yeah, good ball on time by Walker. Good job of Kellner fielding it, getting upfield, takes a big shot, holds on to the ball, pops up, big first down. I think he was the one they called the penalty on, so making up for it a little bit there. I didn't see the penalty there, but that's who they called it on. But made up for there, picking up a big first down and keeping the drive alive.
Aiden Verrett in as a tight end. He's number 87. Talked at the top of the broadcast how Aiden is normally the right tackle, is taking more reps over these last couple of weeks at that tight end spot. He's got to change jerseys in order to do so per Texas high school football UIL rules. Normally wears 76, but as many of you know. Can't have a number in the 70s and the 60s as well, right? Ryan, or is it just the 70s?
50s, 50 through 79
there
is
we go.
ineligible. So 50s, 60s, and 70s, you cannot go up for a pass.
So with that, he's got to switch jerseys. Has an 87 on right now. Caught 3 passes last week against the Thunderbirds. 2nd and 10. The 18. Shoquist going right. There's that burst that Brian talked about. Still on his feet. Spinning his way, toward the 10. Down it right around the 13.
Yeah, good run by him just to get that amount. Thought he was going to go down, spun out of it. Kept his balance, picked up a couple more yards. Pretty good gain there on 2nd down, making it 3rd manageable. Try to call out some of these guys blocking for him here. I see number 50, the guard, Cannon Wheeler. Shane Woods out there as well. Good to see him get up play ago. He kind of got rolled up there. Slow to get up, but he stayed in, so good to see him. Looks like who's that? Heisey playing center there, I believe. Trying to call these guys out as we go.
Walker keeps going right. Easton, 1st down yardage inside the 10.
Now, looked like a little wedge play. Everybody just kind of ran forward and kind of designed for the quarterback to hit it up the middle. They did a pretty good job of congestion, so Easton sees no outside contain and kind of jump cut to get to the outside. Uses his speed and picks up a 1st down there, so good run by Easton.
1st and goal at the 7.
Julian Martinez in there at fullback.
Handoff coming left. Touchdown, Gunnar Shoquist. 7 yards away. And the Ranger offense has gone over 50.
Well, so Shoquist ends up, he does get his touchdown, just takes a few more plays than what it would have been, which is kind of a good thing, taking some more time off the clock. But dang, that sure was a heck of a run. They got called back there. But in the end, probably for the best. Got some other guys, some other touches. Got some guys some reps, and ends up the same with Ranger touchdown with Shoquist running in the end zone. It's really impressive when other guys go in 2nd, 3rd group and all that, still able to execute at a high level. I'm looking down there and I'm looking at Seguin's defense. Those are all starters down there on defense. Okay, with the exception of big number 99, their nose. Everybody else, that's their starting defense. And for other guys to go in there and still execute at a high level, pick up 1st downs, overcome a penalty, and still score a touchdown says a lot about those guys. The reps and the focus they get during practice, even though they're not getting starter reps, to go in there and execute like that, very impressive.
The Amaya extra point makes it 56-10 with 7:18 to go in a ball game that will see the Rangers improve to 6-1 on the year, 4-0 in league play. It's a season that started with a 62-6 victory over Roosevelt on August 29th. Following Thursday, Brennan got him 30-21. On September 12th, a 42-10 win against Madison. September 19th, 41-14 in Bernie against Champion. September 26th, 27-17 victory against Piper. And then last week, the 48-7 rout, I should say, of Wagner.
Yeah, and I haven't checked the score in a while, but I know the New Braunfels and Piper was in a tight one. Obviously, New Braunfels is Smithson Valley's opponent next week, and so that very well could be the battle for 1st place right there if New Braunfels is able to pull it off. And even if they're not, could see a 3-way tie there type of situation. So next week, a big game versus New Braunfels at home at Ranger Stadium. New Braunfels always very challenging. Obviously, they made it deep in the playoffs last year. Smithson Valley played them twice, one in the regular season and deep into the playoffs. And so I believe if they're able to pull it off tonight, I have not checked the score in a while, but if they're able to pull it off, they'll come into the game 7-0, or at worst 6-1. And so big matchup next week at Ranger Stadium, Smithson Valley versus New Braunfels.
Well, Piper's come back, but it is New Braunfels who still holds a 24-21 lead in that game in the 2nd half. But to Brian's point, that should be a lot of fun, and we're going to have it for you, obviously, on the Rangers Network. Those 2 games that Brian mentioned in which they squared off against the Unicorns last year, Smithson Valley winning 29-18, 1st down here, a gain of about 5 to right around the 30. And then the Rangers got him again on the day after Thanksgiving, a 56-21 victory.
Yeah.
In that ball game.
And like we talked about last week, the second half of Wagner was kind of the turning point of Smithson Valley's season. If that was kind of the turning point that woke him up a little bit, that New Braunfels game was kind of the one that really woke him up. Didn't play particularly well in that one. Had some uncharacteristic penalties, turnovers, things like that. And then from that point on, by the time Smithson Valley played New Braunfels again, the buzzsaw was rolling in the playoffs, and they were starting to play Smithson Valley football. Smithson Valley is looking like they're hitting that stride a little bit early, but this year. But again, that's going to be a big ball game next week with the New Braunfels squad that's going to come in with a lot of confidence, regardless of what happens tonight. They're going to be 7-0 or 6-1. They're going to be coming in with a lot of confidence to Ranger Stadium next week. Should be a fun one.
D'Angelo Aguilar, the carry. D'Angelo, 19 carries, 80 yards coming into tonight. He scored on the ground, a first down for the Matadors on that previous run. Gets it again here. 5'5", 165-pound junior is D'Angelo. This is third game with the Matadors. As the clock goes under 6 minutes, and we move that much closer to the matchup against New Braunfels that Brian alluded to. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Like we talked about with the offense, it's impressive for those guys going out there and moving the ball down the field. This is still Seguin's starting offense. And we got guys in there that are putting up a good like that right there, stopping them, rallying to the football, physical. There's hard tackles going on there. You got Nicholas Granado, Jackson Kimnitz I saw in there on the tackle. Try to call them out as we go. Number 38, Garrett Chinney. All those guys in there. Again, it's impressive to see. This is Seguin's starting offense that has put up 50-plus points against district opponents. And we got guys rolling in there that haven't had starter-type reps, and they're still executing at a high level, rallying to the football. And there's 4 or 5 Rangers making every single tackle, and you could tell how excited they are to be in the game. And they're executing at a high level, which is super impressive to see.
In addition to Corey Daly, Elliott Weaver, there he is right here on the sideline, cutting it back inside. The Matadors' leading receiver gets into Ranger territory at the 40-yard line. By the way, scoring update in that Piper New Braunfels game, the Warriors have scored a touchdown to take a 28-24 lead.
Dogfight over there. Good ball game against 2 playoff-type teams. Obviously, Smithson Valley, Piper, New Braunfels probably have, the path into the playoffs is kind of a question mark right now. Who's going to be that 4 seed? Champion, Wagner, Seguin right here. But right now the Ranger defense, heck of a job after giving a first down. Brought a creative stunt there. Coach Worsty called a great stunt. And it looked like number 72, Kimnitz, came free on a little loop, a little tackle, and in twist, and he came free for a big tackle for loss there. He's excited about it. Good play by the Ranger defense as the clock continues to roll. Rangers up big. Going to be under 4 minutes by the time this ball snapped.
Jackson Kimnitz, a senior defensive end. And to Brian's point, you mentioned just a little while ago, Brian, even if Piper does hold on to win that game, then you look at it, New Braunfels would come in with just the 1 district loss still. Again, with the carry, it's D'Angelo Aguilar. And you look at it from their standpoint, they've just got the 1 district loss. If they can knock off Smithson Valley, well, now they're both tied, and Piper's sitting there with the 1 district loss as well. So
yeah, you'd be a 3-way tie.
So it doesn't. So does it? If New Braunfels falls tonight, does it lose the little bit of a luster of the 2 undefeated teams? In that sense, But in what really counts and what really matters, no it doesn't whatsoever.
Yeah, because you're still playing for first place, because then it goes to a 3-way tie and it goes to point differential. And so in district play, there's a point cap of 21 points. Anything below that, if it does end in a 3-way tie, they're going to go with point differential. And so Smithson Valley, remind me of the score, Smithson Valley Piper.
From this year?
Yeah, so 10 points.
This year Smithson Valley beat the Warriors 27-17.
Yeah, so 10 points there. It seems like a tight ball game over there right now, a 1-possession game. And so if New Braunfels, even if they were to lose tonight and come in and beat Smithson Valley by more than 10 points, now they would have a better point differential than Smithson Valley does against Piper. And so there's all kind of numbers that go on when there's tiebreakers and stuff. So I just assume go ahead and beat them, so we don't have to deal with any of those tiebreakers. But it'll be a tough opponent. Like we said, it'll be a fun one a week from tonight in Ranger Stadium.
Weaver on the previous play got the corner and then the big gain and a first down before this handoff to, again, D'Angelo Aguilar. And doing a nice job is D'Angelo, along with that Seguin offensive line, of carving out some yardage here as we wind down the fourth quarter and near 2.5 minutes and counting in the ball game.
Yeah, good job of the Ranger defense. Getting them a couple first downs here, but keeping everything in front of them. No big, long, explosive plays, making them drive the football, taking a lot of time off the clock.
Daly throws it away.
Yeah, and it was a great read. He looked out there. He was trying to throw the hitch, and our corner, number 16, McBride, he saw it, and he came triggering up, and Daly was about to throw it, saw the trigger by McBride, and actually just threw it out of bounds on purpose, because I think that if he puts that on the money, McBride might pick that thing off, or at the very least have a big collision with the receiver right as the ball arrives. So great recognition by McBride, and good job by Daly just kind of throwing it away, knowing he didn't have anything. So Rangers looking for a big third down stop here. I mean, 56-10, it's obviously 4-down territory. They're going to go for it regardless, I would imagine. But if they do run the ball here, it could take us down to the 2-minute, not 2-minute warning, right? 2-minute timeout.
Timeout is what I've been told. Yes, they call it. Ryan Lee, the intended receiver on the previous play. Daly staying on his feet. All 6'7" of that lanky frame where he's rushed out of bounds. And I think we do have a fourth down coming.
Yeah, good pursuit by, I think that was Truss there from his linebacker spot, forcing him out wide. Didn't make the tackle, but forced him in, and the Rangers rallied and kind of shoved him out of bounds. And so it does stop the clock because he did run out of bounds, so we're not quite to the 2-minute timeout yet, but it is fourth down.
I say we just call it the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I'm
right? Like,
a 2-minute warning.
Let's not tiptoe around it. We can just, it is what it is. It's a timeout. It's a stoppage taken with 2 minutes. Everybody knows it is a 2-minute warning.
They're going to take a timeout. No, delay a game. Oh, no.
So now 4th and 3 becomes 4th and 8.
They had timeouts. I don't know why they didn't use a timeout to avoid the penalty there, but now 4th and 2 or 3 goes to 4th and 8.
Yeah, they have all 3 of their timeouts, as a matter of fact. Ball's now at the Ranger 28. Trips to our side for Corey Daly. Looking this way. Deep. Weaver.
Oh, good play, O'Malley.
And O'Malley with the touchdown saving pass breakup.
Had him deep. O'Malley, great closing speed. Plays it perfect. Even though he didn't get his head around, he read the receiver. As soon as the arms went up to catch the ball, he shot his arms up there. Big pass deflection there on 4th down. Great play by O'Malley. And the Ranger defense makes a stand against the starting offense. After a couple first downs, stands tall in the red zone, and Ranger offense is going to take over, and you would imagine it'd be, well, 1 handoff and then 2-minute warning, and then after that it'd probably be a couple handoffs, and that'll be the ball game. Seguin's got like 15 guys in the field right now.
I think now they're putting in some subs, and I think there was some confusion. And because of that, now I'm thinking that's what happened. The starters went back out there.
Trying to get some other guys in. And so they called timeout instead of giving a penalty. They're trying to get some other guys in now. So, again, Smithson Valley, I would imagine, probably only pass play. Might be like a little quick hitch out here or something like that. Probably not throwing the ball deep, but 2-minute warning, and then should run the ball a couple times, and that'll be it.
Well, we've talked about the New Braunfels game that looms a week from tonight. The Rangers closed the regular season with MacArthur on the night before Halloween, and then a final Thursday game against Victoria East on November 6th.
Yeah, actually closed out with 2 Thursday ball games, which is kind of rare. Obviously, MacArthur shares the stadium being in Northeast ISD, and so we don't really get a choice in that being the road game. And then Coach Hill decided, since we're playing on Thursday, might as well play on Thursday the next week, get the last regular season ball game out of the way, so maybe we can go scout a playoff opponent or maybe even have the opportunity to have our first playoff game on Thursday. So 2 Thursday games to close out the season.
And I remember last year, the Rangers closed out the regular season with a Thursday game against Victoria East.
Yeah, a little hitch route out there. Good ball by Easton, kind of just goes through Finley's hands. So even though that was an incomplete pass, the time it took for to run that play was more than 2 seconds. So regardless, it's a 2-minute. Whether we'd have run it there or thrown it incomplete, that was going to be the 2-minute warning. So technically 1:58 left in the ball game. Rangers in complete control.
Another impressive outing for the Rangers all the way around. Went through their scores earlier in the broadcast, but a lot of their games this year, and again against quality opponents, they've already taken on Piper. You've mentioned, Brian, how Champion is very much in the mix for a playoff spot. Madison's one of those teams where they're still in the running for that 4th playoff spot out of their district. It's a district that includes Johnson, Reagan, and Clark is having a fantastic year this year. And so even with that opposition, the Rangers, a lot of their games have gone the way that this one has. Big leads, efficient offense in the first half, great defensive play, and then by the time you get to the start of the third quarter, once you get into the break, you're well in control.
You think about it, this is their 7th ball game of the year, and you know it's been a good thing, don't get me wrong, but really only 2 ball games this entire year has the starters played in the fourth quarter. You know, obviously against Brennan, the game they lost, and then against Piper, there was still a relatively tight game in the fourth quarter. And so against New Braunfels next week, obviously tight ball game, have a chance there, but then, you know, it's great that your starters get some rest, but at the same time, you want to get them some work in the second half and be ready for those playoffs, because you're not going to have these type of wins very often in the playoffs.
With 1:07 on the clock, a timeout taken by the Rangers. I think the play clock was on the verge of going all the way down to 0. But in terms of point differentials this season, Rangers won their first game by 56, beat Madison by 32, beat Champion by 27. Brian mentioned a 10-point win against Piper, and then last week a 41-point W at Rutledge Stadium against Wagner. And so,
and again, most of those were first half style leads.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
right.
Besides Piper, the rest of them, that was about the differential at halftime, and then it kind of was back and forth. For, you know, Wagner last week, it was 42-0 at half, and then I think it ended, 49-7 or something, you know, whatever that. So still a 42-point differential. So the Rangers have had big first halves and have been able to rest some starters and get some other guys some valuable reps in the second half pretty much every game this year except for 2.
Important point. Jacob Kirk over the middle, complete to midfield. Easton Walker with the nice throw.
Yeah, good throw and good catch, good timing, and that should do it. I mean, we got time for one more play, but obviously picking up a first down there, probably their last throw of the ball game, hand it off. Only 50 seconds left, so they'll probably snap this with under 40 seconds. So I would imagine, barring running out of bounds or incomplete or something here, this should be the last play of the ball game.
Kirk's 4th catch of the season, 43 receiving yards coming in, 2 catches for 14 last week in that win against the Thunderbirds on what should be the final play of the night. Lincoln McKeon smartly stays in bounds.
And that'll do it. Good run by McKeon, lowering her shoulder. One last physical play there by the Rangers, and no need to run another play. Clock going under 10 seconds. Coaches are starting to walk out on the field already, and so that'll do it. Rangers win another district ball game, 56-10.
Improved to 6-1 on the season, 4-0 in District 13, 5A Division I. Brian Hill, your final thoughts on a night in which the Rangers dominate once again.
Yeah, impressive on both sides of the ball, all 3 phases of the game. Obviously, you always want to include special teams in there. Some things to clean up. But overall, you did exactly what you want to do. You limited their explosive offense. I don't think they had a single pass play over 10, 15 yards, and so that's kind of what they feasted on this entire year, how they're averaging 40-something points a game because of that. So obviously the Ranger defensive game plan was keep everything in front. If they want to run it and take short passes all night, cool. Let's see how patient they are, so nothing behind them. And then the Ranger offense was as efficient as ever, good mix of run and pass. And then just had great field position all night because of the defense and special teams. A few things to clean up. Obviously, that one drive had a miscommunication in the fumble, but other than that, about as good as you can get. And Rangers hitting their stride with only a couple regular season games, setting up a big matchup next week versus New Braunfels.
And that defensive effort, even that much more impressive when you consider Seguin's quarterback is headed to the University of Pittsburgh. A commitment verbally that he's made, choosing the Panthers over about 10 other schools, including UTSA, Texas State, and UIW here at home. For Brian Hill and the wonderful folks at Wick Productions, we say so long, and we'll see you next week right here on the Rangers Network for what should be a really fun one against those New Braunfels Unicorns. Good night, and we'll see you next Friday.
Go Rangers.